And we're live. Hello, I'm Anavultus, and welcome to another episode of this amazing podcast, where we are not going to talk about Moon Man because we want to tone things back a bit because things were getting a little bit extreme.
Yes, that's very accurate, which is why the first statement out of our mouths was Moon Man.
No, no,
Which,
no, we're not
yeah,
talking about Moon Man.
yeah, but we still brought it up first, which was that's when homies got the priorities. You know what I'm saying? Hello, everybody. I'm your host, one of his, as always, the Sussmaster himself. Always bringing you either cringy shit, realistic talks, or just memes. And you can't hate on it because that's what Anavultus does. Just memes.
Yeah, home slice. What up, young blood?
I
Get
still have no clue what that means, but okay.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is something very near and dear to our hearts that I think we can all agree is very important to talk about, and that is fashion. Um, I like
Um,
to be a
Wait,
fashion
hold up.
designer. What?
I need more context.
What?
What do
What?
you mean fashion in general or the type of fashion you wear? Because let's be realistic. All right, let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm that one homie who cannot hang out with anyone else besides the squad. Okay,
Okay.
and it's because of fashion. Because here's the thing, I've
Okay.
I've actually done this 50% of the time because the other 50% are female. So 50% of the squad, right, is male because
Yeah.
we like to have an even split. So what I do
Yeah.
with the homies
Equality.
is
Yeah.
that I do that homeboy thing where I'm like, listen, fam, if you want to be friends, we gotta be frank. Listen, I don't own more than three types of shirts and two types of pants. So when we hang out, don't be tripping when your homeboy is either in his boxers or in his Gucci gang sweaters. Okay,
Yeah.
literally the only clothes I own. So this is why, if we're talking about fashion, it's gotta keep it real. I don't own more than two pairs of clothing. So, I don't know much except what I like, which is all you need, to be honest. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I like what I like and I keep it real.
Yeah, keep it real, man. So I'm gonna give you the lowdown on my standard loadout when it concerns my fashion. All right, because I am a fashionista and not a zapatista. So
What's a Zapatista? I've
it's a
never heard of
Mexican
that
thing.
term.
Don't ask.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. Uh, so what I do is I of course wear briefs because who needs boxers when you can wear
True,
briefs?
true.
Uh, and
Half the
I
time, that's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. And despite the fact that it's always hot and humid where I live, I always wear two layers. So I of course wear
I just remembered one thing that was so hilarious. Okay, okay. Let me tell you a quick story time. Okay,
yeah,
okay. It was me and my homies. We were
yeah,
at summer. Okay, we were
homeboys,
at my house. Okay,
home slice, yeah.
because that's when it's most humid. Okay, listen, we're at summer, and here's the thing: when they show up to my house, right? Because your boy ain't got no chill and doesn't give two shits, literally two shits. Everyone's in their boxers, okay, and we're all guys. Don't take it in the gay way, or do. Let's be honest, that might as well be the first case scenario. All right, everyone's in their boxers because whenever they show up to my house, I tell them, listen, if you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to be straight, be straight. If you want to be sus, go right ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, do whatever you want to do. I don't judge and I don't ask no questions, which is why they're always in their boxers when they're at my house because I don't give a shit if they're half clothed. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to smash no one, which is real. So one day, right? One day, one of my homies showed up to my house. He was the weirder of the three of us, okay? Here, tell me why. This nigga, right? He had one pairs of boxers
Yeah.
with fucking pandas on the shits, and it's pink. I don't know why.
This
Maybe he
feels
was
weird,
going
man.
full gay that way. I don't know. And the second pair of thing he was wearing underneath the shorts was a thong. Tell me why. As soon as this nigga showed up, one of my friends started to square up. He's like, listen, I know this homeboy told us to be sus, but you being too fucking gay, my nigga. He's like, why are you wearing two pairs of clothing when it's hot as shit? And one of them is a thong. So I started questioning the logistics of this nigga, right? Because we never knew that the nigga had a thong. No one asked questions, which is why it's always sus. And tell me why. This nigga did one of the most best things I've ever seen. Here's the thing. He told him to square up, right? And then guess what that nigga did? He showed up, stood up, took off his shorts, threw him at him. I don't know why. Threw him at the nigga and then squared up and literally knocked this nigga out with 2 hits. I don't even know why. And then guess what he said?
What did he
He
say?
told him, never judge a nigga with 2 pairs of clothing. Because this is when you know a nigga doesn't give 2 shits. You know what I'm saying? Only the weirdos who don't give a fuck about what's going on wear 2 pairs of pants. Or 2 pairs of thongs. I don't fucking know. He was gay. Thankfully, that made a lot more sense after the fight. He was actually gay, which is why that was weird as fuck. But it was the most hilarious fight I've ever had. Like, seen from my perspective. Because tell me, have you ever seen a nigga literally threw his boxers at you and then beat your ass while he's in a thong? I don't ask
No,
questions,
I
but
generally
it
don't
is
look at
very
other
weird.
men in their underpants. So
Yeah, which is why it gets weird in my house. You should probably hang out
yeah.
sometime. You know, it will be lit. That is a guarantee at my place every time.
Okay.
And
So
okay, that was the
yeah, but
story.
that's not what I mean when I say wear 2 layers. What I mean is I wear 2 shirts. So I
Oh, that's
have
normal. Why would
yeah.
you only wear one?
Yeah, well, a lot of people they get really sweaty, so they want more air, so they only wear 1 shirt. But
If they
I
got
wear two
abs,
shirts.
okay.
I wear and I'm wearing one of these right now. A I always have a plain white t-shirt, no print, from Walmart, of course,
Of
because that's where
course.
it's cheap. And
Walmart has everything, bro. I really want to visit a Walmart just to see what I can find.
you
You know?
just there's some really weird people that go to Walmart
Oh
though.
yeah, that's actually why I want to go, just to see if it's really like that. Because some
It
people tell
is.
me that it is the weirdest place by far in the entire galaxy. I'm like, well, you gotta have some really high fucking standards for that to be the case. And then when you just see a bunch of people shitting their pants, a bunch of people wearing only the most ghetto of clothing, and just a wedding in Walmart, which I found last week, then I'm not even tripping. You know, I'll not ask any questions after that. I'll believe you since that day, straight up.
Yeah. So I also so I'm wearing my briefs and my t-shirt, and now what else am I gonna wear? Well, I'm gonna put on some trousers, okay? And what kind? Blue jeans, okay? Because that's what people do. They wear blue jeans. So I put on my jeans. I like them a bit faded in color, pre-washed. But I don't
Okay.
like holes in them because I'm not a tramp.
Yeah,
So
why the hell was that even a try? Like, I don't ask no questions. Okay,
yeah,
you can dress ghetto as shit and like goth as you want. You know what I'm saying? But why holes in clothing? Okay, because from my perspective, right, when half of the fucking poverty nation already has that, right, and they don't want it. When I see like rich niggas, right, do that on purpose. I'm like, listen, if it's for fashionable reasons, go right ahead. But it's just to look cool, then why the fuck waste that much money?
yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
it undervalues my actual efforts because when I get holes in my jeans, I earn those holes because I went down on my knees and I worked hard in the garden. And then people just come up and they've got the pre-ripped jeans and they think they're all fashionable. I think they look tacky because those holes look so fake. Um,
True. You can tell when it's fake and when it's real
yeah,
by the actual amount of effort. If the thing, right, here's how I guess whether or not it's bullshit. If the thing is clean as shit but has holes in it, it's fake.
yeah, it's got to
But
have
if the
some
thing
grass
is
stains on
dirty
it.
or at the
Yeah,
very least worn out, like from use, then you know it's realistic. Because that means at the very least he's had it for a year. But most people, right, with those bullshit pants, they literally buy the shits with holes in it and just kind of roll with it like they've been in the ghetto for 20 years. You know
okay.
what I mean?
Yeah, so then what I do is I, of course, fasten the jeans with my t shirt tucked into the jeans so that I get a nice tuck there. And I then put on a belt onto my jeans. And the belt I use is not a standard belt. It's not a belt you can buy in stores. It's an improvised belt, okay? That's from some other satchel or something I got. And it's
It's
not really a
improvised
belt,
belt. I've never even heard that before.
but you wrap the piece of cloth through it and you wrap it around in a special way, and you can tighten it and fasten it like a belt.
A
But it's
special way, bro.
technically not a belt. But I wear it like a belt
Context.
because I'm a I'm an artist. So
Artist, okay.
yeah. So then what I do, okay. So I've got my belt on, I've got my jeans, my t-shirt, my briefs underneath. I put on a polo shirt
The
because
best hipster outfit
because
or
polo
starter pack I've
shirts.
ever
I
seen.
no,
The,
honestly,
the fuckboy hipster starter pack.
it's not even that. I mean, my grandfather wears
Yeah?
the well, he died, but he wore the exact same stuff. I in fact inherited a lot of clothing from my grandfather,
When you know it's lit, bro. When you know it's lit. You
but
know?
uh,
I've actually inherited some clothing from my family members, and tell me why half of it is actually Gucci gang merch. Literally, because they wanted me to dress lit. So, like, listen, fam, I'm gonna give you some of your new Gucci gang and some of my old 90s to 80s high school shits. And it's the funniest shit, right?
yeah,
Because a lot of it, I can't tell if he got it from a movie theater or he was in the Revolution. Because it just seems like it's kind of London style clothing, you know, with the top hats and shits. It is very funny in plays whenever me and my homies show up. We would literally play out World War II for fun. Not the Hitler one, just for lols.
okay,
Just like I told you
yeah.
earlier. It
Yeah,
is funny though.
just the bystander with the Zyklon Ben. Okay, so now what I do is so I'm wearing my polo shirt, and what kind of polo shirt? That's very important to get the right kind of polo shirt. Just like with the jeans, you don't want to wear the skinny jeans. You got to get a relaxed fit on the jeans.
Yeah,
And
otherwise, especially if you're a guy, you don't want skinny jeans, okay? Now, look, as far as I can tell, right, from my experience with skinny jeans, only bad shit happens. Okay, number one, it's tight as shit. Number two, it destroys the D. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
it's too restrictive. And number three, the booty cheeks, bruh, they be popping.
yeah.
So sometimes when
I
I go
already
jogging,
have very
yeah,
strong glutes. I don't need them to be accentuated.
true.
Uh,
So when I literally go outside and start jogging, everybody hits on me, and that's not even a lie, bruh.
yeah, they slap you in the butt. That's what they do. Well,
No,
that
no, they
nobody does
don't
that to
get.
me
They
because
don't even get the chance. But
they
I
move it
stop in
get
midway.
wrecked. But
You know
yeah,
why? You know what? I stop in midway every time. I've never gotten them cheeks clapped on purpose because whenever someone showed up, I just hit them with the "you thirsty," and then they just stop immediately because no one wants to be labeled as a thirsty hoe, you know.
yeah, yeah. So
But they will be labeled as a fuckboy. That is
yeah,
guaranteed
so the
because they
polo
will
shirt
prefer that.
is important, and I don't tuck it in because I don't tuck in my polo shirts unless I am at a formal occasion. But so the undershirt is tucked in, but the polo shirt is not tucked in. So what I do with a polo shirt is you got to get the right kind of polo shirt. Now, of course, Lacoste has some very good polo shirts, but you can get at any clothing store. You can get a good polo shirt, but you have to watch out because there's some kinds that are good and some kinds that are bad. Now, I like some solid color polo shirts, maybe some striped polo shirts from time to time. That's good too. No prints on my polo shirts. People don't put prints on polo shirts anyways. And one thing you gotta really worry about when you're picking out a good polo shirt is the texture, man. Because there's
Yeah,
some
that is
polo
true.
shirts that where the texture is too smooth, and you gotta have some roughness on your polo shirt, or it's not a real polo shirt.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially when the smoothness kind of undermines the durability of the shits. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's smooth, just like with silk or whatever the hell women have in their purses, you know, those stupid alligator scale type ones, right? They get bruised up very easily. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the pricing. It's overpriced and under durability, if that's a word. You know
yeah,
what I mean? That's why whenever I go, you know, to get my clothing or at least countryside clothing, I always go to two places, right? I either go to Goodwill, the good kind, where you know it's a bunch of farm people who give you some of their old clothing that they had for generations that they
yeah,
want to get rid of at a decent price, like $5 for like two shirts and stuff, which is a good price, and a lot of them have really nice you know textures, durabilities, and countryside styles. You know, sometimes you want to get a shitty type of clothing just to look the part. You know what I'm saying? So I either get that or I have mine specifically made.
yeah,
By then, I mean I go to a country farm, right? I tell them, hey fam, you got any extra clothes? And I just have them tailored to my specific size because your boy is extra large. So, you know, I'll just go with that.
yeah. But essentially, what you have to make sure is that the polo shirt needs to have a texture that's rough enough that you would not be comfortable wearing it on its own. Because what would happen if you wear it on its own is that it would hurt your nipples because the texture is rough. So you of course need to wear an undershirt.
It's funny.
What?
Nothing.
What? What's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
funny about getting sore nipples? Nobody likes that.
No, I'm not judging about the sore nipples, but it's just a funny statement, you know. But yeah, I got you. I got you. I'll do the same. I'll do the same.
Yeah. So
I do actually always wear them in pairs. I never actually wear them one at a time.
yeah.
You know, I always have my polo shirts with my Gucci Gang clothing and some hoodies. I always have a hoodie every week. That is very signature style of me. Plus, the rap game be getting lit, so you know, gotta respect.
Yeah.
Hit up some
So
respect.
what I then do is I then put on some socks, okay? And it's got to be the right kind of socks too. You want socks that aren't flimsy, okay? We don't want any of that. We want some real socks for real men. So you put on the socks, and they can't be ankle socks either, because number one, that's uncomfortable if you're wearing high top shoes, and number two, uh, in Florida where I live, there's a lot of insects. There's ticks, there's mites, chiggers, and all of that, and they'll get into your ankles and they'll bite you and they'll suck your blood, and that's not fun. Nobody wants that. So what
Yep.
you do is you wear some nice longer socks that are maybe to the mid calf, maybe even higher. You know what? I don't mind wearing socks below just below the knee. That's fine too. I don't have a lot of those. I actually don't ever wear any of those because I don't have any, but I would wear that. And then so you got your socks on. The socks, okay, they gotta be a couple of things. They gotta be monochrome, okay? No colored socks, no fancy weird colors, nothing of that. It's gotta be you've got the black, you've got the white, and you've got the gray, and that's it. And
You know what's funny about that?
yeah,
I always either go really like one-sided or always combinations. And whenever I dress the part right where I'm going out, not to the club, I promise. Wherever I go out for walks or jogs, I always do two types of socks, bro. The first is color coordinated socks. It sounds pretty sus because whenever I go out, I never have the same type of socks. You know, like literally two different colors for both legs with the socks. I mean, so I always go color coordinated. You know, if I'm wearing some little bit of black, a little bit of purple and blue, you know, I gotta have the socks either be red or pink. You know, just to color coordinate a little bit.
okay,
Or I have mine customized. By customized, I mean you got to go the YouTube route by having ones with logos on them. You know,
okay,
because for me, I either get them plain white, plain black, plain colors, basically standard, or with some homeboys. Okay, I almost said homeboys. Some homeboys like YouTubers. You know, the ones with the logos on them.
yeah.
You know, I gotta have some of them respects. You know.
Yeah, I never wear any logos of any kind, unless it's maybe the item on a polo shirt for the brand that might be on there. But generally,
Yeah.
I don't wear any logos. So then what I do is I put on my shoes, okay, and the shoes got to be right too. So my on my standard streetwear, what I wear is tennis shoes, because sneakers are for wimps. Okay, if you're wearing sneakers, you're not a real man. You're a California culture weirdo. What you gotta wear is real man's shoes, and that's tennis
Tennis
shoes.
shoes, bro.
You know,
Really?
you gotta get the shoes that have the big things on the bottom so that you get a good grip, because you gotta run around, you gotta change directions rapidly when you're getting into fights on the mean streets of wherever you are,
You ain't
and
lying.
yeah,
Here's the
and it's
thing.
gotta
Here's the
hurt
thing.
when you kick someone in the face.
Uh,
Okay,
Wait, for both or for you?
For whoever you're kicking in the face,
Yeah.
if your shoes have to be made in a way that it hurts them. You know what? If you're wearing cleats, that's even better. Having metal bits on your shoes, in my opinion, would
Oh
be even
shit. Yeah,
better.
I
But
have
I
those.
don't wear that. But I wear just tennis shoes. and a brand of a shoes, okay? None of that Nike. Who cares about that? I wear New Balance because I am a
That's
sensible
actually
man,
very
uh,
realistic and
a
understandable.
working man,
Because here's the thing. Funny thing
a
with
middle
me, right?
class man.
I'm one
Yeah,
of the only people, right, in my countryside who don't have branded clothing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or shoes, more specifically. Because a lot of them, I don't know why, maybe they be doing sus shit on the weekends. They really like to have clothes that have brands, I think, for, recognition, which I find fucking retarded. So what I would usually do is I won't do the Nike shits and brands. What I would do is elements, okay?
yeah,
Now, because of my disability, right? For the homeboys who do not know, the leg disability, right? I have a very crip walk style of walking, right? Because I can't literally walk straight, so I need the crip walk technique. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So what I would do is I have mine custom made every single time because I
yeah,
actually, contra popular belief, my legs are actually different sizes from each other. Okay,
yeah,
because of the crip walk. When you do the crip walk when you're young, you practically invented the crip walk, right? You don't necessarily have the same size. So I always have mine custom made because it's either that or buy four pairs of fucking shoes and just wear one on each leg and dip the other two. You know what I'm saying? Apparently they can't do that. So they can't just give you one shoe and then the other shoe for a different size. You need to buy both pairs. So I either have mine custom made or I do what I like to call modification techniques. Now, basically, it's a lot like the thing that you said with metal, right? And the thing where you said it has to be designed so you can dodge and move quickly, right?
yeah,
I do that, but here's the thing: what I do, first off, I make sure the shit looks clean. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have the respect, you know.
yeah. Make
I
make it
gotta
look
make sure
pretty
it's
clean.
it's, it's clean. But my main priority is elemental balance. Okay, because I live in the mountainside, we have a lot of different terrains.
Yeah,
There's the city side, which is just literally cement fucking floors, right? There's the countryside, which is a lot of dirt, mud, and mountains and grass. And then there's the official mountainside, which is a lot of hard rocks and cliffs. You know what I'm saying? Legit homeboy style shit. So I have three different pairs of elements for my shits. By that I mean like the element of the shoes that they're made out of to kind of balance out what I'm walking on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I would have metal infusings, or more like metal shit you put on the shoes. Except unlike normal, where it's like either on the sides or on the front of your shoe, mine is actually either in the middle or front or back sides of it, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Basically, like pressure points. I put them on a specific spots because those are the spots that I can't sit on, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing: when I step, I don't actually step with my full leg. I only step with part of my leg. The other one's in the air. So I need literally some of the metal infusings to force my leg to gravitationally put down the shits. That makes more sense because this is getting more and more confusing. So what I would do was the metal infusings plus a little bit of texture modification,
yeah,
based on where terrain I'm going. Because if I'm going to the mountainside, I need my shoes to be durable. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to the mud and dirt side, I need the shits to be tall and can take a little bit of water. You know what I'm saying? Water resistant. But if I'm going with the classic, what is it called? Cement sealed city side, right? I just
yeah,
go with Nikes, but not the Nikes you think of. I actually get rid of the brand. I put my own logo on that shit, make it customized, and then I kind of crip walk all the way.
yeah. So
But
so
it is
my
very good.
my
Yeah,
philosophy on purchasing shoes is that it should not be expensive in the sense that you shouldn't go for the most expensive shoes. You should also not buy shoes that you're not going to wear, and
true.
that if you buy expensive shoes, it has to be shoes that you can go in and have repaired when they break, such as
True.
you go to a classic cobbler, and they custom make you the leather shoes with the nails
Yeah,
in
what's
them,
funny about that, fam,
and you can
is that
repair
I
them.
have my
Yeah.
own blacksmith. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a homeboy, right? He's one of the squad mates. He's a legit homeboy. By that I mean he's like it's not part of the squad, but he hooks you up sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at that. So when I go to that nigga is that he actually has mine custom made for the most part, right? Like I said before. So whenever I go to the blacksmith, I gotta give him orders. By that I mean I'm like, listen, fam, I need two types of pairs, make him earth element by next week. Stuff like that. It's kind of like RPG equipment in a way. That's actually why I say the elements rather than just the infusement of the shits, because that's what I kind of perceive it as.
Yeah.
So I'll go to him and tell him, hey, modify this. Hey, modify this. Hey, listen, repair this. Get rid of a little bit of metal, for the weight, because sometimes it's a bit heavy on my legs, because mine are weaker than normal human legs. No, I'm not a robot, just for confidence, because I was thinking of who the hell invented Facebook. I was looking at that meme yesterday. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
why they keep saying he's a robot. What is his name though? I keep forgetting that guy.
It's Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, so Mark Zuckerberg, is he a douchebag? Is that why I
No,
call
no,
him
no.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Berg.
Berg?
Yeah.
Berg or Burke? Which one is it?
It depends on which language you're speaking, really.
Screw it, Mark Zuckerberg. That nigga, he invented Facebook. People keep saying he's a robot. Do you actually know why? Because whenever I
It's
ask, people just
it's
say it's
because
me. So
of
I don't
the
know why.
expression he has on his face. It's just
So,
how he looks. He looks like he
oh,
has no emotions, and he looks too clean to be a real man.
too clean. That's a phrase I've never seen before. Too clean to be a real man. First statement ever. All right, so back to the blacksmith bullshit, right? So
Yeah.
whenever I have my shits custom made, here's the thing with that. You want to know why? I tell the nigga he's a true homeboy. Want to know why?
Why?
It's for the pricing, my nigga. He's the only real homeboy I've had, and why he's a personal blacksmith is because he's that kind of guy who makes contracts with you. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
Yeah.
listen, I understand you're disabled. I'll give you a discount. I won't charge you 50 extra dollars just because you need yours custom made, because I respect you. Do what you do, and I respect that that doesn't weaken you. You know what I'm saying? You go out of your way to modify the shits
Yeah.
rather than go out of your way to
Do who you want to
dismodify the
be,
shits.
Barbie
You know what I
girl.
mean?
Yeah.
What, Barbie girl? Nigga, what?
No, no, nothing.
It's just a meme. Okay, so he gives me discounts, and here's the good thing about him: he knows the realness of the shits or the situation. He doesn't charge me extra because I'm disabled, rather than the obvious one. Because most people will charge you extra if you want it modified, and they don't give a shit if you're disabled. But this nigga respects the fact that I didn't choose this shits, so he's not gonna, maximize or profit out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna give me the benefit of the doubt. He's like, listen, fam, you didn't ask for this, you didn't want it, so because it's not necessarily your fault, I'm not gonna charge you extra. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it to you. What's it called? Customer discount or employee discount. You know the thing that they have. Except
Yeah.
rather than 10% off, it's 100% off. But I still insist to pay him from time to time. And here's the thing: he never deviates. He keeps it 100. He's like, as long as I'm your only contract, I won't ask about the price. You know what I'm saying? I won't charge you extra. I won't raise it. I'll keep it minimum as long as you're only with me. Just like your hairstylist or your barber. As long as he's the only one you go for it, then you got it packed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is why I respect it. Because tell me this: can you find a homie like this? I bet you 90% of them don't even exist. You know what I'm saying? Only the legendary 1% can be this type of homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's right. It's got to be the 1%.
And the funny thing about it is that I actually asked him for custom made swords, and the nigga was lit. He actually told me he'll make some.
Oh.
But then I never completed on it. Well, remember, fam, he's a blacksmith. Because remember, I have metal infusings on the shits because it's like a requirement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he actually told me he can make me some ninja equipment. But then I was like, nah, bro, I'm not about that life. But thanks though.
Yeah,
We
you're not
were
about
actually
the
talking about it just
ninja
2
life.
days ago, actually, where we're talking about whether or not I would actually make some. Because think about it, you go to a blacksmith, but rather than asking him for the shit that I usually ask a blacksmith, like swords, weapons, maybe a stove or some shit. No, you ask him for shoes. So what's funny about? So it's like, hey, Mourad. I was like, yeah, fam, what's good? It's like, are you actually gonna ask me for something that's related to my, job requirements? You know what I mean? Like, ask me what normal people ask. Because this is the one homie that I never actually asked the real shit with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like going to a doctor, but not for medical advice, but for friendship advice. You ask him the one thing he doesn't know, and you don't ask him for the one thing that he actually does. So it's very funny. Inside jokes, always the best. Oh, and by the
Okay.
way, he's not gay. Just for those of you who want to know,
Okay. I don't know if people were asking that question, but
it is a normal topic with me. I just
it,
kind of
okay.
say it out loud
So
beforehand.
it's like when you're singing a rap song, you're saying yo 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 yo, and then you bust your rhymes, and then at the end the final rhyme ends with and I'm not gay.
Oh,
Just to let you know.
are you
Yeah.
making a joke about me?
No, I'm just saying that that's something that someone might do. You gotta plug it at some point.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta plug
Because
it.
people are really questioning. It's like,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Shane
That's the
Dawson. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
okay,
That, by the
it's
way, is
some
that guy?
guy. I
I
don't know that
actually
much.
don't know whether he's bi or not. I stopped
No,
asking,
no,
but
no.
I never had a
That's not the
concrete answer.
question. He
Yeah.
some video came out about him years back where he referred to um how his cat was climbing on him, and because of that, the cat ended up rubbing against him in a certain way that, according to the original video, that what he said was that he then because of that,
What became a
uh,
furry nigga? What?
no, that he ejaculated while the cat was on top of him.
Nigga, really?
But then years later, people were
God
bringing
damn
that
it.
up again, and it was just some story he said. There's no evidence that this actually happened. It could have been just something that he made up on the spot.
That's
But
better. That's better to just be a story. No one needs that type of info.
but then years later, someone had brought it up again, and then he emphatically denied doing various things with his cat. Some things that people didn't even claim he did, he denied those. And he denied it so emphatically that people were saying, well, maybe he
Yep.
actually did.
Nigga telling on him damn self.
Yeah.
I-
But
Here's the thing with me. That's actually a lot of what I do sometimes, especially with these podcasts, right? Where I just start saying gay shit, right?
yeah.
And stuff you don't ask, but you never needed to know. So whenever I say I'm not gay, you always gotta ask. We didn't know, so are you hiding something? That's literally what my squad says
Yeah, you're hiding
every
something.
time we finish this shit. We
Yeah.
finish it, they watch it, and then they ask, bruh, why do you keep adding that info every time? It's not for context. It's just you keep adding it for lols.
Yeah.
And I tell them my answer is just that. It's for lols.
Yeah. We're not
Because for
supposed to
me,
talk about
I,
Moon Man.
what?
No, nothing. Nothing.
God damn, bro, we agreed not to talk about Moon Man.
Yeah, I'm saying we're not talking about Moon Man.
Every time with Anavultus, I swear to God.
Okay.
If you don't kill me, I might kill myself by the end of this.
Why? Why? What's going on? How would I
Nothing.
kill you?
The cringiness, bro, it's getting too real.
Okay, I got this
Endless.
news story
Yeah,
hot off the presses.
the
I
grill.
decided I want to see
What
what's on
the
the news
fuck is
today,
this?
and I went on Huffington Post,
Of course he
and
did.
the big news that
Yeah,
The Huffington Puffington Posts,
Huffington.
the Huffington Puffington I'll blow your house down post said, Trump Homeland Security official suggested anti-fascists were the actual threat. So, but have you seen those anti-fascists in the street though?
No, you know why? Because I
Why?
don't want to. You know what I mean? Like here's the thing. Even if I met them, I just agree that they're too on meth. They should. They're like the local crackhead. You really don't want to associate yourself with them because at this point you don't even know if they're gonna kill themselves. You know what I mean? I'm surprised that these niggas haven't murdered either the country, themselves, or their homeland by this point. Just how many more topics do you need to talk about? Is the news so dry, like that dick, that they need just the most controversial topics nowadays? I'm telling you, man, this is just
But
bullshit.
it is true though. that I think, in my opinion, there are a lot of anti-fascists who are so anti-fascist that they're so violent and they attack people who aren't even fascists,
Which is
and
why it's
it's
ironic
weird.
as fuck, because the fascists do the same shit, where they're like so for women and shit, or is it? It's either that or something else, right? That they will attack guys or start labeling them as rapists just because they can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is why I stopped fighting with these situations. Here's the thing. I have what I like to call the bullshit meter, okay? I think I've talked about this before, where I can correctly guess what type of actions they would do, which is why I never involved myself. Because just like with like scripted anime fights, you already know they're going to lose, but you already know that they're going to lose the most retarded way possible. So you want to watch it, but at the same time you ain't conversing with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is why I never bring up these type of topics, because just like with predictions, as long I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, if I'm not working for you or for this revolution type bullshit, right? Then I don't give a shit. So I actually don't really care what side you're on as long as it doesn't involve me. You know what I mean? So I'm
Okay.
like, nope, not part of any of this. Okay, let's just say, what is this about? I'm
Um.
telling you so you can tell me because you're the political man and
Okay.
I'm just the
Okay.
sauce master.
So the Huffington Post is complaining. The this
Of
writer
course it
here,
is.
Jessica Schulberg, is complaining that Donald Trump is looking at the anti-fascists and saying that they're worse than the actual fascists. Um,
Okay.
or not that they're worse, but that they're a bigger threat. And it's
Okay.
because,
Question. I have. Here's the thing. These are the type of arguments, right,
yeah,
or political statements that as soon as you ask a question, the whole thing falls apart. Because this is why I say they're retarded. Because whenever I put any, and I mean any level of thought into this shit, the whole thing crumbles down because they don't think this shit logically. And I think I already said that before. You know what I mean? They literally are so anti logic that as soon as I ask one question, they fall apart their entire theory. You know what I'm saying? They're like story time videos, but all fake. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I
So
think
yeah,
one thing,
here's my question.
yeah.
Okay, here's my
What's the
question.
question?
Why are you mad? Okay,
Why?
I'm not you.
Oh,
I'm talking to this female, like from her perspective.
yeah.
Why the fuck are you mad about this shit?
It
I
well,
mean,
I don't know.
yeah,
I guess she's concerned that the the what the media has been saying for the past 2 years is that Donald, well, not just the past 2 years, for the past 4 years, is that Donald
for
Trump,
eternity at this fucking point. Yeah,
yeah,
continue.
that Donald Trump is a massive racist and a fascist, and that he wants to, and that he is a white supremacist, and he wants to genocide everyone, and all of that. Which, honestly, he is a bit of a douche, but he's none of those things. He
Yeah, I know what you
hasn't
mean.
done anything of the sort that they claim that that he was going to do. So I
Yeah.
yeah, and so what they think is that when Donald Trump says that the fascists are very small and they're not actually organizing very well, and nobody takes them seriously because both of the major political parties hate the fascists, that the actual anti-fascists, who are many a times communists and anarchist extremists, that they're going in and they're doing all these bad things. They're protesting on the street, they're beating people up, and that's bad, and they don't want that. So I actually, a while back, wrote a little bit of a song about this.
Oh, of course. Classic Anavultus. If he didn't
Yeah.
write a song, then it's not him. Yeah, okay, hit me up with them links, because you already hit me up with
Well,
like five.
I haven't published it because I hadn't finished doing the instrumental yet. But
Do you
I'll
have the light novel version? Just the text, my
yeah,
nigga. Hit
I've
your
got
boy
the
up with that.
text, and
Wait, hit me up with that. Just to see the lyrics, and I'll say, gotta sample that
yeah.
to see if it's
Okay, this
memeable
is a
enough.
parody of a song from the 1940s that was U.S. propaganda against the Nazis. Um, and it also had its own Disney movie adaptation as well. This song.
Of
Uh,
course it is. God damn it, man. Okay.
uh,
All
so
right, let me just finish something real quick and I'll check it out. All right, continue.
I'm going to also
You know,
put the window capture on that.
I gotta ask, man, this very, very simplified question, right?
Yeah.
Um, how old are the Republican debates campaign managers? Just as that normal question, or at the
What?
very least, representatives of the shits. Just how old?
How old are who?
The representatives of any Republican debate at this fucking point. Doesn't matter which ones. Just as a normal statement, you know. How old do you think these niggas are? You know what I mean?
Well, many of them are in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. It really depends because there's actually a huge range of how old people can be in politics.
And that's actually the most ironic and stupid part about this, at least for me, right?
Yeah.
Is the fact that you have such a diverse age range, yet literally every one of them, right? At least the ones that start, ranting about this shit like they're reading the entire goddamn time, right? Are only five. You know what I mean? This is why I always say this is retarded. Because I swear to God, if these people aren't 5 years old, then they definitely act like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
They would. I don't know why, but in the U.S. with these Republican debates and just these fucking debates in general of anything, usually it's the Republican debates and national ones, right? They always gotta have the last word. I don't know why, but they got it. You know what I mean?
yeah, they
It's the
gotta have
one
it.
thing. It's the one thing that we don't give a shit about that the people in the U.S. only give a shit about. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing that matters. Not whether or not your argument is supporting your fucking ideals,
Okay.
whether that it's the right one. No, you just gotta have the final word. And what it pretty much comes to is that it's a 5-year-old rant battle.
So
Literally just ranting about your shits,
so
and
on
it
stream
seems
right
just the
now,
final
I've
word.
got the sheet
Yeah.
music for the opening chords of this. It's the Antifa's face based off of what's his name, Spike Jones's Defurus face, and also the Disney adaptation of that is an influence on this as well. So as you can see, this is actually a full piece here that has a lot of instruments in it. So um, I'm just gonna play the music on stream real quick, and this is just the opening. And after that is where the main music would start with the singing. So you have a little bit at the start, then the musical sort of introductory piece, and then the second little bit, and then the main music starts. And let me just switch back over to the script. Uh, the song would go, and I just realized I had spelled something wrong here. There we go. So the song goes a little bit like this: when the Antifa says punch a Nazi in the face, we heil, heil, right in the Antifa's face. Not to love the Antifa is a great disgrace, so we heil, heil, right in the Antifa's face.
Oh, bro, this is funny.
Yeah. When their anarchist says we will destroy the state, we heil, heil, right in their anarchist face. When their communist says we will lose our chains, we heil, heil, right in their communist face.
You and your music,
Yeah.
man.
Are
I
we
can
not the
never.
activists, righteous and pure activists? Yes, we are the activists, super duper activists. Is this Antifa land so good? Would you leave it if you could? Yeah, this Antifa land is good. We would leave it if we could. We bring the world's new order. Heil Antifa's new world order. Everyone of foreign race will love the Antifa's face when we bring to the world disorder. When the Antifa says punch a Nazi in the face, we heil, heil, right in the Antifa's face. Not to love the Antifa is a great disgrace, so we heil, heil, right in the Antifa's face. So there you go. That's
Way to go, fam. Way to go with your music.
that's how a song would go if I had finished it, but I did not finish the sheet music on that.
The way I see it, it's halfway finished.
It is halfway finished. I've got the lyrics down. I've got the opening part of the music down, so it would be pretty easy
You also
for me
got
to
the
write the
rhythm
rest.
down. You just need that music remix.
Yeah, just get on Patreon, donate me some money. I'll do it. I'll
If
do it.
only. If
Yeah.
only. But we're still broke. Just like them ankles.
Yeah.
Yep. So, speaking of broken ankles, you stay and do your thing. I'm going to dip and come back real quick, okay?
Okay.
I just got to get myself
Okay.
that chicken parmesan, my nigga, okay? Got to get that good chicken, all right?
Yeah.
You can either play RuneScape, maybe meme for 3 hours. I don't know. Do the thing that you do, except make sure it's not too racist. All right?
Okay.
Except
okay.
it's probably going to be racist. All right.
It's
So,
not
yeah, I'll
racist.
hit you up in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just got to go get that chicken parmesan. I'll be back.
So everyone, I'm going to show you another piece of music here.
Yeah, hit him with that Millie Rock.
I don't even know what that means.
Let's make sure you don't yeet too badly.
I don't eat. I never eat.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's the joke. See ya, fam.
All right. So this is another unreleased piece, since it's also incomplete. Chaudelet March version. I decided to make a march of the famous Chaudelet. So the original introductory part is something I made myself, but then the rest of it follows the course of the music. So we start out with a bit of an start with some percussion, pipes, and drum, as you would with many marches. And then here it goes. You hear that? That's how it goes. The shot away. And that's where it would usually continue on farther down, but of course I did not finish this piece. So again, there are many things I started I don't finish. Although finishing that one would not be too difficult. So of course there are other things I've got in here. Let me just open up something else. Let me see. Is there something interesting that we haven't really looked at? So I think here we go. We've got the Tarantella Napoletana March. Oh no, didn't want that to show up. Put that away. There we go. Didn't want it to show off my whole desktop with various things. Is there anything risky on my desktop anyway? Let me just check. Cycle bin, shortcuts, League of Legends, Nexus Mod Manager, Scrivener files. animation impulse. No, there's nothing risque on my desktop anyway, so I don't know why I'm even concerned really, but it's just a bit messy. So maybe there you go. It's a bit of a messy desktop, so that's why I'm not too keen on people looking at it, because it's a bit messy and I don't like it being messy like that. So let's get to the action itself. So uh, let me actually do something interesting here. So let me change the view to zoom out, or I can just do control minus. That might be just faster to do. Control minus, control minus. Okay, maybe it's not working. Okay, so view, zoom out. And here you see just how many instruments there are in these pieces. View, zoom out, and let's start it. Tarantella Napolitana. So it starts with fife and drum, and it goes through the whole tune on fife and drum. So I can skip through a few bits here. And here's the final bit of the fife and drum, and then the whole instruments groups start in. Now this is based on a bit where I was using, I think, guitar music as the foundation for this. So that's why it looks, it's got interesting sound to it. Bass being on different types of notes. Okay, so let me actually zoom in here and give you a breakdown on what's going on here. So let me zoom in, and let me just add a navigator panel so that we can move through this quickly. So let me go back to the start and zoom in again. So zoom in. So what we have here is that we're looking at, I decided to put it in the same key as the original piece was that I had found on as guitar music. But what these symbols mean, of course, you've got the clef. It tells you where you are when it concerns your notes. This tells you the key you're in, and you've got how many beats are in a measure, and which types of notes are beats. So it's 6/8 notes that is what the time signature is, 6/8 notes. So you start up with a pickup measure, which is shorter than a usual measure. It's a very common thing. Most of my pieces actually do not use pickup measures, since I think it's just something I generally try to avoid. But in order to keep with the music, that is what I decided to do. So this is actually very fast because this is a 180 80 BPM piece, which sounds like it would be pretty fast, but it is actually more a tempo di marcia because what you have is with 6/8 times and 180 BPM, it is similar to going 120 BPM with 4/4 time. Um, Although don't quote me on that because it's not exactly that. It's actually a bit different. But this is essentially my way to adapt a 3/4 time piece to tempo di marcia. Um, that's essentially what I've tried to do here. But although tempo di marcia you could go in 3/4 time, but I decided to switch things up a bit and do this because if I went 120 time, it would sound a bit different. And in fact, let me do that. It would be too slow, in my opinion, in 120 time. For most of my marches are in 120, so that's a lot slower, and I want a bit of a faster, upbeat march. So let me just undo the change, and not as if I have to, because I can just choose not to save. But then we have the repeat, and this is because every few measures are grouped in a repeating verse that has a different ending. So of course the melody starts with a fife and drum, and we're going a bit of a medio forte, um, which is not as strong as a forte, but stronger than a medio piano. And then at the 10th, no, it's the, sorry, the eighth measure. I was looking at the wrong number here. This has an 8 above it because it indicates that it's an octave higher, uh, because otherwise it would be difficult to use this clef if with a fife. The notes would be way up high up here, and it would be very difficult to notate properly. So I try to keep my notes at least on the bars. That's what I try to do. So that's why it's an octave higher clef. So the way it goes is the melody goes on to here, and here's the repeat sign, a little bit of a colon here, and that indicates that you go back to where the previous colon is, which is there, and you repeat the whole bit. But what you may also notice is the 1 and the 2, and that's two different endings to this verse. So the first verse ends with a higher note, and the second verse and the second time around on the first verse, it ends in a bit of a lower note. But that's actually part of a pickup for the next verse that then moves on from there. So this goes on for a bit, and you've got the standard verses going through until you eventually reach the end here. And what you may notice here is that we've got a special symbol here, and that's a segno, or a symbol, or a sign, to be a better translation. It's Italian for the word sign, segno, same word. And that's because at the very end, we've got another symbol here that I didn't position properly, but it's fine, which is the da capo al segno. And as you may notice from my inspector here, what it says, it says jump to segno and play until end. So da capo, not da capo al segno, da capo, man, what's the exact name for it? I can't believe I forgot. It's dal segno. Sorry, it's dal segno al fine. So what you do is because da capo would be DC, and then you would have to put al segno. But dal segno means you start back at the segno, and then you keep on going till the end. And you may say, what about why not say dal segno al fine, which means from the sign to the end, because fine is not necessarily at the end of the musical piece. The fine, you can put it anywhere you want in there. I could plop down a fine somewhere in here, and if it's a dal segno al fine, it'll stop there. And there's no real point in putting a fine at the end. It would just clutter it with the dal segno and the fine, dal segno al fine and the fine in the same measure. That would be kind of weird. So I just put a dal segno, and it goes back to the segno, and it goes to the end. Uh, and of course, you've got the saxophones and the glockenspiel, one of my favorite instruments. Very lovely. I like the lyre type glockenspiel. I don't like the more xylophone shaped kind. If you understand what I'm
Yo,
saying.
fam, what's good?
Yeah, I was just bringing the lowdown on how I write this music and the meanings of these
Homie can
symbols.
write music now? Okay.
I You didn't know? I've been writing
No,
music this. Okay,
no.
I'll show
Did
you.
not know the homie got them skills.
Okay, I'll
Did
show you
not know
something
the
special
homie
then.
can back it up.
I'll show you something very special then.
Uh, Please don't be sexually implied.
It's not sexual, but it's very special. Uh,
Okay, it's making sure
okay, I gotta get into
the zone. Yeah, I
the
got you.
the, the other document. I was looking in my MuseScore 2 folder. Let me look at my MuseScore 3 folder where I've got some of my newer stuff. All right.
Can you play sheet music as well? That's my
Uh,
question.
yeah, I can. I'm not. I haven't done it in a while. I mean, I'm not particularly good at doing it since I don't practice a lot, but I can write it very well.
All
So
right. So while you do that, I'm gonna go and come back in like 5 minutes. Okay. I
okay,
just remembered the homeboy forgot the sauce. Okay. I'm gonna be back.
okay. Let me
Gotta
just
have that Szechuan sauce. With
open up
that
your
shit.
funeral sonnet, and
What?
I'll show you what the music looks like on that.
Nigga, wait. You mean that funeral music you had for me last time?
Yeah, I wrote that, man.
Okay. Good for you. Regrettable life decisions. I'll be back in like five
Yeah,
minutes.
don't die. Wait, no, you already did. Haha. uh, there you go. So here it is, the funeral sonnet. Uh, Let me just full screen that, and here we have it. So you look at this at the start here, and you see it's 100 BPM, and you might ask, there's something a bit different about this, and it's of course it's a different program. It's MuseScore 3, which is a newer version. Um, but you may ask, what is this? What is the symbol next to this chord? And that is what we call an upwards arpeggio. So that means that when you play the chord, you don't play it all at once. You sort of roll onto it. And in this case, the arrow indicates that it's upwards. So you start at the bottom and you go to the top when you're playing the arpeggio. So let me just show you a bit how it sounds like. So you hear that? You go from the bottom up to the top on the arpeggio. 100 BPM, 4/4 time. And maybe I can zoom out here.
All right, your boy's back.
Yeah, so this is the funeral sonnet that I wrote for you.
Okay.
And what people can see on stream is that we've got a number of instruments here. You've got the piano. I have two flutes because I've got one for playing the long notes and one for doing a bit more of a melody. And I've got an oboe and a bassoon as well for the lower notes. Two violins, a violoncello, and a contrabass. I didn't put a viola, so it's not a proper string quartet. I have got two electric guitars, and they're tuned differently. So if I open up my mixer here,
He's gonna play us a little bit of his mixtape.
no, if I open up my mixer, what you'll notice is that One is an overdrive guitar, and the other one is a distortion guitar. So they're two different instrument music types that are in my sound font that I use for MuseScore 3. And I also have an electric bass which has a figure bass sound. Bass. Sorry, I say bass, I should say bass. But so, oh snap, didn't want to accidentally pull that. So what we see here is the fact that I accidentally keep using the wrong mouse button to move this. Okay, left mouse button. So we've got the funeral sonnet.
Yo,
And
can I ask one question?
yeah,
What program is this? Your boy wants to use it.
this is MuseScore 3. It's the Mark III. If you want, I can send you the link online to get onto the website.
Yeah, that's what I
To
meant.
use MuseScore. Okay. Let me just get onto
You know,
the Google.
if I die, man, if I get murked real quick, right? I'm
Yeah.
gonna play this at the funeral. I actually do have a playlist. It's called the funeral playlist, where it's the type of Gucci Gang music that the homies will play at my funeral. You know,
Oh, by the way, how's it going
just
with
like the
the
meme. Yeah, yeah.
MMD?
Very interesting, actually. Okay, so here's the thing with MMD. I like it. You know,
Yeah.
to do a quote from Boondocks. I like you and I want you, right? But I don't fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. I want to use it, but not right now. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, WebMD or MMD, the Miku dance thing, right?
Yeah.
It's really cool and I really like it. It's gonna take some time, okay, to get kind of used to it, you know, because I'm planning on making a music video,
Okay.
MMD style, you know, this type
I
of
put
meme bullshit that you do.
I put the link to the website musescore.org into the YouTube chat.
Great.
But yeah, so I'm gonna actually I should restart it.
All right, I'll download it later. Funny thing is, I
yeah.
actually do know. Well, actually, I don't know that much about sheet music, but I did actually go to music classes. You know,
Yeah.
started to learn how to play
I
an
know.
instrument. It was really cool.
So,
But I kind of stopped after 2 weeks because it was a bit too slow. But I can guarantee I like it.
so the way it starts is you start out with the piano, and you've got the arpeggio chords, and then you enter into the woodwinds coming in, and then the strings, and then finally the guitars. And that's where the main body of the music goes. Actually,
It is very cool. Respectable effort. By the way, for a frame of reference, how long did it take you to make it?
this,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe 2 hours.
Okay.
Not very long.
All right. I got you. I'm gonna see if I'll make some sheet music. You know, test it out. I'm very good at learning new skills. It just depends on what type of skill.
Yeah.
Just like Will Neeson, I got a very particular set of skills, you know?
Yeah. Particular set of skills.
But more accurately, it's more like preferences, two types of skills, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm that kind of guy, right? Where if you give him a program like WebMD and shit, right? He will learn it very quickly because he experienced a lot of stuff like editing, you know, art, you know, a lot of the same types of programs. You know, they have the same types of functions. So they're very easy to kind of pick up and use. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what type of outcome the thing comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sheet music, the important part is the rhythm, whether or not the music sounds good, the instruments, the types. For art, it's like the color contrast, the positions, the pose, the line art, you know what I mean? For WebMD, it's the character, the frames, the motion of the movement, whether or not the environment looks cool behind it, stuff like that.
You mean MMD, not WebMD.
I keep forgetting the name and I confuse it with other shit. MMD, yeah.
Yeah. So this other piece I'm showing right now, uh, let me just make sure it's recording properly. There we go. Is I didn't actually, I don't know why I didn't put the title on correctly, but this is Warrior in the Darkness, and it's a bit of a motif for an opening scene uh, of a story in a book that I'm writing. So
Homie is writing books,
yeah,
making music, trolling memes, and damning on the haters. Yep. All types of skills you need.
yeah, I'm an artist. So this is with a low harpsichord, and then it moves into that. Bit of an off chord.
Yeah, I can't really hear it. Interesting.
And then the contrabass goes in, and the little glitch there, little glitch.
I'm gonna give you a link real quick.
Yeah.
Hold up, give me a minute. To one of my favorite artists that makes music.
And then the violin with the staccato. Yep.
I'm gonna give you 2 links, okay? 2 links, my boy. God damn. I must have smoked pot the other day. What the fuck?
Wow. You like a little bit of a weed?
Not really. I just kind of assume I'm on it when I have one of those drunk nights where you do something stupid, forget about it, and then wake up in the morning and regret everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I do pretty much every weekend. So yeah, that's why I say I do it. Here's the funny thing about it. I do the same things you do when you're on it, but without being on it, which I'm not sure if it's a good or bad thing. I somehow managed, right? I don't even know how, to subscribe to 50 more channels in one night. What the fuck? My subscription box is dead, bruh. I literally am subscribed to 500 channels. How the
How?
fuck do I even make that happen? Meth. Literally meth. This is why I say I'm on crack. Because I have no other answer. Nigga, what the shit? I don't even know how. I myself don't know how. I think I must have blacked out the other day. Literally, because that's the only explanation for this shit. Alright, so I'm sending it on the YouTube link, okay?
Okay.
Okay, listen, fam.
Yeah.
We promised not to talk about the cups, okay? But I just noticed we got 3 likes. If we get to 5, you know what I'm saying?
We're not doing that today, man.
Nah, I don't mean the cups. I mean something slightly less sus, okay?
Okay,
Something
what is
slightly
it?
different. Well, actually, the original thing was for me to make WebMD video or a review on it, which I'm actually kind of working on. But let's try something else. What do you think will happen if we get 5 likes?
Uh,
Something we can manage today on this live stream. Something fun, like let's just say a new topic. Maybe kind of like voting. You know, when you vote on a poll for stuff to talk about, and then you kind of talk about it 5 minutes later, stuff like that. What do you? What do
Uh,
you?
if we get 5 likes, we have to talk about Moon Man.
Okay, sure, sure. If we get 5 likes, we'll talk about Moon Man.
Okay, because
Speaking of,
we're not allowed to talk about Moon Man.
but if you want us, you got to get them 5 likes. All
Yeah.
right, so here's the 2 links. They're in the description. I mean,
So
in the live chat.
damn, Daniel, still at it with that consistent uploads. Wow.
Or
Wow.
someone send you a message?
No, no, it's the description of the video that's on the front page of this YouTube channel. It's Anna Pantsu.
Oh yeah, that chick. Yeah, yeah.
That's
She
that's a
she's great. She's great.
that's a bit of a meme name there. It's a
Yep.
meme. Uh, it's a okay. It's a bit of a weeb name as well. It's a bit of a weeaboo name. I could be a voice actor. I could do it. I could
Pretty
say
sure you will.
yo yo. Oh,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what is this with this
What?
Steven Universe music?
Look, I don't ask questions. I just like her voice. That sounded weird. I just like her singing. That's right. That's right. Singing.
Okay.
That's what.
Yeah, sing a song for me, eh? Sing you
I,
right now. Sing a song.
wait, me?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, you can't pay
do
me
my
enough to do
bidding.
that.
Sing a song.
Nope.
No, okay. I can sing a song. Happy birthday, by the way. Uh, it's your
To
birthday. I heard.
to who?
You. It's your birthday. Happy
Nope. I
birthday.
wish.
Uh,
At the very least, I get cupcakes. But no, my birthday is not for another like 5 months, bro.
uh, Happy birthday to
God damn it,
you.
nigga. Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, uh,
Forgot my
Michael
name.
Jackson. Happy birthday to
Really?
Michael
Really, my
Jackson.
nigga?
Yeah, it's Michael Jackson. Uh,
Always with the sus, man. What the hell?
Michael
All right.
Jackson. Yeah, that's right. I baited you. You thought it was your birthday. No, it was Michael Jackson, famous lead singer of the Jackson Five. Uh, there you go. That's what life brings you today. You never know what it's gonna be. It might be a boat coming into port. It might be Michael Jackson in for a concert. Uh, man, I hope he comes to my town soon. But anyway, I
And what,
always
in a
said
coffin, nigga?
when I
What?
was in the mean streets of
Are you
of
sure you're not
Lombardy,
still in the mean streets?
in the mean
Just saying.
streets of Lombardy, meanest bicycle gang on the east side of the Ticino, and I was riding around, taking cherries off of public cherry trees by the canal side, rolling out police siren on my bicycle because I'm a meme man, meme master, meme completer. And they told me, yeah,
God
dog,
damn
what?
it!
You what, mate?
Nothing. Just moist right now over something real quick. I found on Pinterest.
Yeah, and they told me, you you're gonna go to prison for picking those cherries. You're gonna go to jail. I saw you what you did. I saw you. You were taken on that wheat field on the old farmer, the wheat field. You picked the head of grain, and then you picked the little grains of the wheat, and you ate them raw, didn't you? Didn't you eat them raw? Yeah, right there on that road. Yeah, we saw it. You ate the grain raw. We also saw you were riding your bike, and there was a
What the
dead
fuck is that?
bisha on the road,
Oh
and
my god,
and
bro!
you
I'm
might
I'm,
say,
I'm
"Wow,
sharing right
looks
now
like a
on
snake,"
Skype.
but it's not a snake. It's a bisha. It's a legless lizard. Because the
All right, I'm
symbol of
sharing on
Milan
Skype.
is
Check
a
this out.
bishona.
Check
It's a
this out.
big.
Check this out, Nate. Check this out.
All right, all right. You want
What
me on
is
this
this?
on the Skype lads.
Yes,
Oh,
nigga, share
uh,
this shit. What is this?
due to the high demand, actual waiting period is 95 months after the date of purchase. This item can't be delivered before Christmas 2018. Attention, this is made to order toy. I don't have it in stock. Okay, it's a toy.
What is?
It's a toy.
Are you shitting me? For $300, my nigga?
It's a
This
sparrow
looks
griffin.
like a. This looks like some sort of hybrid incest inbreeding type of animal. I can't even tell if it probably has five dads. I don't know. This shit looks like it's a part of a bird, an eagle, a mouse, a rat, a fucking lion or whatever the hell type of tail this is, and probably a squirrel as well. I can't even tell at this point. I'm telling you, half of the shit I find in here is just illegal.
It's
Okay,
it's not
now,
illegal though. It's completely legal. It's legit stuff. It's
I,
legit.
okay, what is this?
It's some
This
some.
looks like nightmare fuel.
You like nightmares in your fuel?
No, no. Okay, now this looks cool. Okay, this looks legit.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. The back dragon
Understandably OP. Okay, this is the and I would buy it. And
PDF
it's
pattern.
$9.
PDF pattern. You can get the pattern for that and make it at home. You can get the pattern. I know that because I'm an expert fashion designer, and I design the coolest fashions. You know the you know what I don't like, people who go around and they crimp on my style. Whenever I wear, you know what I would like to wear? I would like to wear spikes, okay, on my clothing. But people out there, they think it's weird. They say, "Wow, you're an emo?" No, I'm not an emo. I'm not an emo. I just like spikes. I say that's kind of emo, man. No, I'm not an emo. Is it a
It's
sex
not
thing? It's
emo.
not a sex
It's
thing. It's not a sex thing. It's not
calm
a
down,
sex
bro.
thing.
Calm down. Listen, listen,
It's not.
listen. If I'm saying it's not sexual, then it's not
Yeah,
sexual. Okay?
it's not a sex thing.
Don't worry, it's not sexually implied,
It's
I
not
promise.
sexual.
By the way, look at this hairline. Okay, look at this hairline. It's lit. Do you see the color combinations?
I see the color combinations. Yes, I do see. I do declare. I see the color
How much
combinations.
do you think it costs to get this kind of hairline?
Uh, I know I know someone who's a cosmetologist who might be able to do that.
Oh, damn. For how much?
I'd have to ask a quote on that. I'd have to get a quote, but I wouldn't. I don't dye my hair, so it's not.
I don't, but I would like to, you
Yeah.
know?
What? How would you dye it? Which
Uh,
color?
prob probably like this. Just to mess with the homies, you know?
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, realistically, what I would dye it to is probably some decent colors, like the one I showed you before, but has some sort of symbol on it, you know? I'm currently looking. By the way, do you look like this when you have spikes on your clothing?
No, no, that's exactly what I want to avoid. I don't put
Okay.
spikes on my hair. I just would want to put spikes on my clothing. Uh,
Hmm.
you know what I would like to do? I would like to go out and just wear a military uniform, just out in public. Not
And
a camouflage type, but a dress uniform. You know, fancy
okay,
stuff
okay.
like the palace guard. Uh,
All right. Why don't you just do that?
yeah, I could, but people would just think, wow, that's kind of weird and tacky.
True, but
So
as a wise man once said, if you ain't down with the sus, then you ain't part of the squad. Okay?
yeah,
Simple, all right? It's
what I
Gucci.
should
You
do.
you, you want to dress up like a military homeboy and just walk around town for a week? Do it.
Here's what I should do. I should start my own military order just so that I can have an excuse to wear a military uniform at all times.
At all times. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
So
specific. All right.
yeah, I'll
Why at
start.
all times? Is it really that comfortable? That's my question.
Doesn't matter. It's about the style.
It's
Uh,
about the style. Okay, gotta live it up. I got you.
Yeah.
I,
So
I would
so
probably do the same. I
I'd
mean,
start my
you know,
military order, and then I would be able to walk around with the military coat and maybe even a cape. Gotta get extra stylish. Jack boots. Uh, a nice hat maybe, extra styling, and wear a a star for the order, of course. That's always my favorite thing on
what the fuck?
paintings of old kings. They wear a big star,
All
and
right,
that's
so
pretty
listen,
cool.
listen, 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 fam.
Yeah.
Here's the hairline I want. Okay, I want it to look like this.
Okay.
Now, this is what you would normally want it to look like. This is what it looks like in the hood. Because what the fuck is this?
That's kind of weird, man. Feels weird.
I don't even know what type of hairline. Whose man's is this? Okay, who's your
He
barber? That
lives in a pineapple under his hair.
hey, how about this? How about this though?
uh,
You wanted an army like uniform. How about the cap?
the
Just
cat.
just just do this. It'll
No,
look great.
no, that's too much JoJo for me.
Too much JoJo. How is it too much JoJo for you when
No,
you
you
watch
you
the
haven't
entire
you haven't read
series?
part three. Uh, that's he's got a hair and a hat, and
Yeah,
it's difficult to tell where the hat ends and his hair starts.
that's just what happens when you know a nigga got style. By the way, you said we are not supposed to talk about Moon Man, right?
Yeah, we're not
What
supposed to
about
talk
this
about
guy?
Moon
What
Man.
about this guy? Can we talk about him?
Well, he's not Moon Man.
But he is a Moon Man, so
Well, he's way too dark to be the Moon Man now.
despite being white. Okay, I got you.
He's not white enough.
He's not white enough. He needed
He's
to
not
be
white enough.
10 times more white.
You gotta be pure white like the Moon Man to
Pure
be the Moon Man.
white and pure racist. Okay,
Oh no,
understand.
being white doesn't mean you're racist. It just means that
No,
your
I mean Moon
skin's
Man
pale.
is the racist. You got to be white and racist to be Moon Man.
Well, is he though, or is he just I don't know, or does he just want to sell you a Big Mac? Uh, it's Mac tonight.
Is he
That's what he
really that
says.
desperate though? Because like you got to be
No, he's
racist
not
just to sell a
desperate.
couple
He's
Big
a
Macs?
smooth player. You ever seen the Moon Man? He's a smooth player. He is chill as chill can be, and he plays the piano and he sings and he dances. And they used to have animatronics of him at certain McDonald's locations.
Well, we ended up talking about Moon Man, so we cleared one of our requirements
Well, no,
for
we
today.
didn't. We didn't talk about that Moon Man though. We talked about the McDonald's Moon Man, which is
Aren't they
safe
the
safe for
same?
work.
Aren't they the same?
Maybe
Maybe
canonically
just
speaking,
just kind of, not really, but sort of.
sort
Okay, I
of.
got you.
It depends on which canon you're looking at. Uh, the canon. But I can't talk about the canon too much because that would be getting too much into Moon Man, and we're not supposed to talk about Moon Man.
All right, so what do you want to talk about? Let's pick a topic.
All right, let's pick a
Just,
topic.
yep, just out of the fly, just pick one and do it. Just do it. We're doing it live.
Okay, we'll do it live. All right, all right. Drop a fat beat.
What?
Drop a fat beat. That's what I'm asking you. Drop a fat beat. We're doing it
Really,
live.
my nigga?
Drop a beat. Fat beat.
Why? Why? Why do you want me to drop a beat?
You gotta drop a beat, man.
Are you gonna
Do it for
middle
the
rock
hood.
on them haters?
No, just drop it.
I don't know how. I've
You
never
don't know
dropped a
how.
beat before.
He's never dropped a beat before. My goodness, this. It feels bad, man.
You
It's
okay?
it
Looks
this
like you're having an
you know how it
aneurysm.
feels. This feels like that scene in a movie where he says, "Oh, read it what it says here," and he says, "No, I don't know how to read. I've never read a book before," and it's a sad moment because you realize that the person has been deprived the whole life, and has never read a book, and you gotta say, man, feels sad, man, feels sad, feels Papega.
Is that where you got your reference from? Really, my nigga?
What?
That's where you got the reference?
Which reference?
The one you
Papega.
keep using.
Which reference?
You really want me to say it, don't you?
Say it.
The It Feels Bad Man reference.
Okay, where do you think I got it from?
Did you get from that movie?
No, there is no movie. There is no movie.
Did you? Well, you just said it was a scene from a movie.
I said it's a
That
scene from a movie, but there is no movie.
you just made it up.
It's to convey the feeling that you would have if there is a movie and there's this emotional scene where you realize that this person just has uh, nothing going for him at all, and
And where
has
did you get the
his entire
reference? Did you
life.
just make it up?
It's no, it's a scene in the movie where where he goes out and he says, I've never seen the sun before, and it feels
Really?
so sad, and it's actually bringing tears to my eyes, even though I've never seen this movie. Why? Because it doesn't exist, but it's bringing tears to my eyes because I'm a thinker, you know. I got things in my mind, and they gotta come out, and they're coming out, and
What the hell?
it feels sad, but
Okay, okay.
it's making me
Listen,
kind of happy thinking about it.
listen, listen,
But
fam. You're doing too much. Okay, you're doing too much. Just tell me, where did the reference come from? I need context,
there is no
please.
reference. It's not a reference. Feels Bad Man is a Pepe meme.
Really?
Yes, it's a Pepe
Okay.
meme.
Now
Pepega.
I need more context, nigga. Where did you get the meme from?
Feels Bad Man. Okay. Here we go. The,
All right.
look up on Google or
Uh,
Bing. Okay, you know,
or Bing.
other
Who
search
uses
engines.
Bing, my nigga?
I
Okay.
use Bing. Other search engines are
No wonder.
available.
No wonder you're
Uh,
so depressed. All
no,
right.
I don't use it all the time.
Thank God. Okay. So use
Feels
Google.
Bad Man.
Okay.
All right. Feels Bad Man. And what you'll find is a bunch of images of Pepe, and he's sad. Why is he sad? Because it feels
Okay.
bad, and it
God
makes me
damn it. Another
cry.
one says, "Why are you on meth?" Swear to God. Keep
And
your
it's an
references.
inversion from
By the
the
way, by the way,
yeah.
fam, check this out.
uh, Where what?
The cooler Daniel meme, but better. You know. I didn't think they could beat the damn Daniel, but they somehow find a way. You know.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah, it's like someone telling you to go off yourself, someone telling you to screw off, step on Lego. You'll never be half the man your mother was, which I don't even get. But the last one's my favorite. No matter how hard the wind hollows, the mountain cannot bow to it. I don't get how that works, but okay. It is a funny meme. I respect it, understand it, but most importantly, I relate to it. Okay. And I also don't know what this is.
Feels
I,
bad,
I
man.
yeah, this really feels bad. Either he has life all the way messed up, or he has
No,
priorities.
no. It's because in the original comic,
Yeah.
the Boys Club, there's a scene where he pulls his pants all the way down to pee, and he says, "Feels good, man."
Oh my god, I need context for that one. Wait, what comic? Links, my nigga. I need the links. Okay.
You know, Pepe isn't. He didn't just come out of nowhere. He's a character in Boys Club comic.
Okay, I've never heard of that before. All right, literally never. What the fuck is this? Have heart of God, Africa. Wait, what? Can you explain this to me?
What?
I
Where?
don't know what this is. The meme over here, or not meme, just the picture.
Which
I,
picture?
nigga, I'm sharing on Skype. Check this shit out.
Oh, wait. Okay, it's gonna have to load in a second. Because I'm not seeing it.
These are really weird pictures.
But it
I don't get
it's
it. I don't. I really don't
it's
get what this is.
it feels like
Yeah,
okay. Here's what it feels like. It feels like you're a bird, okay, but
yeah.
you've never learned to fly.
Okay.
That's what's sad. That's why it feels bad.
Nigga, I'm not trying to explain the meme. I'm trying to explain this picture I found on Pinterest.
Well, you said you're showing it on Skype, but I don't know if you've got screen sharing on.
Nigga, I just activated the crap. Did it
Okay.
turn off? It turned off. What the hell? I swear to God,
Get
Skype is
memes.
screwing with me. Yeah, get wrecked. All right, so what is this?
Oh, Heart of God, Africa.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't get it. I don't get what it means. Is it a song? Lyrics?
no. I'm reading the comment, and it says one of the unique ways Heart of God Africa works to train future missionaries is through our kids club. So it's
What?
sending
What is this?
missionaries to Africa.
What are missionaries? That's why I need to know this.
Okay, missionaries are people that go to uh,
Yeah?
to spread religion.
Oh, so the door-to-door salesman. Okay, I got
Well,
you.
they're not salesmen, but they
Yeah, I
go
know
and
the religious version of the same shit,
yeah.
except it's free, but not really.
It,
Uh, okay, so what is that one for? They just kind of send little girls to your house, tell you, "Hey, believe in our religion,"
well, no,
or
no, not little girls, but it's to support the missionaries that are out there.
okay, are they spreading the word of God though?
Well, I sure hope they are.
Is it the good kind, by the way?
Well, I don't know who these guys are, so I hope they're spreading the good kind. There's a lot of
Hopefully.
missionaries that I don't agree with what they're doing, but there are some that
Okay.
I do. And I have a friend that's a missionary in Peru.
Oh, is he getting it? Is he getting them sales, or more accurately, them supports? You know, is he getting that support that he deserves?
Yeah, he's getting support.
Great. What type?
Uh, People send money.
That's funny. I tell you one time, like, I don't know, people send the money, so maybe
Yeah,
it's funny.
yeah.
That's by far one of the funniest responses I've ever heard. Respectable answer, to be
Well,
honest.
well, yeah.
Uh,
That's what people do.
the homie was getting it. Yes,
They
it
go
is
out
official.
and they spread the word, and the people that don't go out, they send the money to support them.
You know, gotta give him them welfare. You know, gotta give them that money to continue doing their work.
Yeah.
Yep, it is funny though. It is funny. I've never actually met anyone. Missionaries? Did you call them? Yeah, I never met any missionaries.
Well,
Never. Entire lifetime, never met any of them.
in it's actually illegal to do that in Morocco, I think.
That explains a lot, but why though? That's my question. Why? Why you got to be hating? You know? Is it because we're so conservative of our own that we don't want any others? Maybe, but I can't accept that. You know, it gotta be deeper meanings to it
Well,
because it's either that or it's sus. You know, gotta get the good kind of support. You know, I can't be mad at it.
it, it's it's
Mm,
it's illegal in Morocco. What am I gonna do? I I can't
true.
really.
Wait, what the fuck? Oh my god.
But I am gonna tell you there are people that do it anyway, even though it's illegal, and but I can't tell you who they are because that would be putting them in
What?
danger.
A snitch? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't snitch on that stuff. because
Homie is snitching and he is dipping.
I don't
Okay?
snitch on that. No, there are many things I
Yeah,
would
don't
snitch, but
snitch.
such
You
as
could get your ass
murder,
beat.
rape, assault,
What?
vandalism. Those are things I snitch on. If I see it, I would
Oh
snitch.
yeah.
You
You
gotta
kind of
snitch.
have
You,
to.
you
You can't
gotta.
just
It's the
you gotta
public good,
snitch.
but there are other things where if it's practicing a religion, I'm not gonna snitch on that.
Yeah. Besides, I don't get mad at it. If a missionary showed up, you know what I'm saying, in my country and want me to support him, you know what I would say?
What would you say?
I'm like, I'm like, listen, fam, I likes you, I respect you, so come in here and have some tea with us.
Yeah,
Literally my exact response, because that's culturally appropriate and usually what we do here, because gotta have the manners, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I'll
Good
be like, hey,
manners.
fam, I likes you,
So get
want you,
the sweet tea.
respect you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Come over here. Let's have some tea. Talk about different religions. Say what you want. See what you like. I'll hit you up next week. Give me your number. I'll talk to you. Just make sure you don't get caught. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's it.
yeah.
I,
But
I won't snitch on him. I
yeah,
won't snitch. Even if I'm an accomplice for it. I won't snitch.
yeah. But there's actually
Because
huge
I ain't mad at it.
networks with
Yeah.
thousands of missionaries that are based in the U.S. that are sent throughout everywhere in the world, even North Korea, where they're not allowed. They go in anyway. Uh,
Yep.
yeah, but if you think about it from a religious perspective, it makes sense that you would, even if you're not allowed by the law, because if you think about it, what's more important, the law of God or the law of a man?
That is true.
Yeah,
That's why I'm not mad at it. You show up, I get you some tea, some communication, maybe a hug because you kind of need it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it be depressing. That you're constantly being on watch, trying to make sure you don't get murked just for spreading the thing that you want, and not even in an offensive way. Just wanted to share the love of God. So I'm like, okay, can't be bad at it. Respectable. I'll see you
yeah,
next week.
yeah.
Sadly, I haven't met any missionaries, but
Well,
maybe if I do, I'll see what I can do.
I've met some Jehovah's Witnesses
Of
who
course you have.
yeah, they come to my home. They're
Of
do
course.
you, do you know who they
God
are?
damn it! I don't want this.
Do
Okay.
you know
Yeah. Can you continue?
Who the Jehovah's Witnesses are?
What?
Do you know who they are?
And not 100%, but I'm not surprised that they show up to your house. Yeah. So
Yeah,
explain to me
okay.
what a Jehovah's Witness truly is, my nigga.
Okay. The Jehovah's Witnesses are a religious group
Yeah.
that most Christians don't consider them to be Christians because they're very different in many things that they believe. Um, but they are famous for going door to door and talking about their beliefs with essentially pretty much anyone. Uh,
So why are they
and,
showing up to your house?
because that's what they do. They go and all of
Yeah.
them do it. Not just specific missionaries. Every all Jehovah's Witnesses spend some time in each week trying to spread the word of the Jehovah's
Yeah. Just gotta
Witnesses.
spread it
And
as far as it will get.
so we let them into our home
Yeah.
because we're willing to discuss our beliefs with them as they're willing to discuss their beliefs with
Did you
us.
offer them tea though?
Yes, we actually did.
Great. What type?
Uh, we
Need
had
that info, bro.
some. Uh, it's iced tea, uh,
Okay.
unsweet, but we had
Oh.
sugar and sweeteners
Oh.
if they
Okay.
wanted it,
Okay.
and we also have some pastries for tea time. Um,
All right. That's understandable. You gotta have those
yeah,
requirements.
but they come in and we talk about uh, what they believe, and of course, I particularly am a very well learned man when it concerns theology. So when I talk to them, I I make sure I really look deeply into what they're saying and find the deep roots of what we disagree on to talk about. But it's very interesting with the Jehovah's Witnesses because in a lot of debates between uh, Christians and Muslims, uh, a lot of the understanding of Christianity that are used by some Muslim debaters are in some ways based on material made by the Jehovah's Witnesses, because of course a big difference between the mainstream Christians and the Jehovah's Witnesses is the idea of Trinitarianism, where Christians generally believe that God is one being that has three persons. Uh,
Three what? That's a
and
new term I've never heard about.
yeah,
What are you
and
talking about?
okay, Trinitarianism or the Trinity is the
Yeah,
idea that God is one being, so there's one God, but
yeah.
God also has three persons.
Three per. That's the weird phrasing of it. Is it three people, three comrades, or three commanders, or is it just three persons? That's the
Th-
weird part about it. What do you mean three persons? I've never heard, I've never
okay,
seen that term used like that.
three
Three
people.
persons. Okay, three
It's
people. All right.
three people, one being.
So is he made out of three people or what? Okay, context on the three people. What do they embody? Are they part of him, with him, or his commanders?
They are all part of him,
Okay, and
and together
yeah.
they are God as
All right.
one God. Okay, and
Okay, and
this is very difficult to explain because it's very difficult to understand.
not really. Just hit me up. You know.
Okay, so the Jehovah's, so in Christianity, the three persons would be the Father, the Son, who is Jesus, and the Holy Spirit.
Which is
Uh, just called the Holy Spirit.
just called that. Okay, got
Yeah,
you.
and
Spirit
the
man,
Father
spirit
is
fingers.
also a spirit, but
All right.
Jesus has a physical body, so he's not just a spirit. But
So
anyway,
he's more spiritual than spirit. I got you.
no. They're all one though. So it's
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I know.
So then the Jehovah's Witnesses, on the other hand, interpret the Bible to say that Jesus and the Holy Spirit are not one with the Father, and that they're therefore uh, lesser to the Father, and that the Father, who they call Jehovah, is the God, and that the other ones, uh, that the Holy Spirit is not a person, and that Jesus is called a God but is not the God. So
All right.
that's what they believe somewhat. There's different viewpoints on this. So
Okay.
in Islam,
Yeah.
there's one God, and
Yeah.
and I think it says in a hadith somewhere, do not say three, which is in
Three. No.
reference to
Oh. Okay.
which is in reference to Christianity. However, the way it's expressed is that they're referring to uh, the Father and Jesus and Mary, which is different from what Christians believe. But that's another story for another time relating to the interpretation of that. But
All right.
so in Islam, to associate God with something or someone else would is generally called I, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Shirk.
Sure. I don't think I've heard that term
Okay,
ever.
okay. So maybe,
You might have spelled it wrong.
but
Probably.
anyway,
Guaranteed. Yeah.
generally speaking, the Trinitarian idea is considered offensive by some Islamic scholars. And so what the debaters use is they take the arguments that the Jehovah's Witnesses make in interpreting the Bible to mean that there is not a Trinity, and they use that in their debates against the idea of the Trinity. So
Okay.
that's where the connection is that I was talking about.
All right. It seems like a decent conversation to have with people over tea and cookies. Okay.
Yeah. But one thing that's special about the Jehovah's Witnesses and why they're called the Jehovah's Witnesses is that they say that the only thing you're allowed to call God is Jehovah.
All right. So they got it strict. Okay, I got you.
And they say that, but it's weird because they're basing that on the Hebrew, uh, which transliterates to YHWH. But those aren't the Hebrew letters; those are the English letters that it transliterates to. And people generally pronounce that Yahweh or Yahweh, but they, in the tradition of how it's historically said in English, it's Jehovah, but that may actually not be based directly on that, and it may instead be based on the word Adonai, which is frequently used because in modern Judaism, they don't want to say the name of God, so they use other words instead, like Adonai and Hashem. Uh,
Okay.
and so people think that the way Jehovah came about is because they took Yahweh, but they substituted the vowels for those in Adonai, so it's Jehovah, and of course there is no J in Hebrew, at least not in the way it's pronounced, so it's different, and it feels kind of weird that they would then use as the only word that they're allowed to call God something that people specifically said because they sort of didn't actually want to say the way it's actually pronounced. So it feels weird, man.
Yep. It feels bad, man. I got you.
Yeah, it feels weird, man.
Yep. It's always sus. Them
Yeah.
niggas.
But yeah, so I now there's the Jehovah's Witnesses regularly coming to my home, and we have a discussion with them at tea time. So
Great.
yeah,
Tell them to hit your boy up. You know,
yeah,
every time. I'll say it every time. When you got interest in people, tell them to hit me up. You know, I like to have some Jehovah's Witnesses topics. I'll talk to people, see whether or not they're down with the sus. You know, classic.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got
Eh,
a booklet that they have, and if you want, I can read it.
Nah,
No,
nah, fam. Nope. None of that. None of
none of
that
that.
susness. I never read
Okay.
the books. I read the people. All right.
But
That
another
sounded
group that
weird,
sends
but
out
okay.
a lot of missionaries is the Mormons.
What
Also,
are those niggas anyway? I
uh,
never understood what they do.
they're called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints, and what they believe is
Yeah.
that all souls, okay,
Yeah.
are created through uh, the sexual copulation
Well,
of
wow, that's a weird way of phrasing
okay,
smashing. I
they
continue.
believe that God has a
Yeah.
wife, okay,
Okay.
and that they have
Weird, but
sex
okay.
in heaven, well, not exactly heaven, but
Okay.
that
This
they
is
then
getting
produce
weirder.
spiritual infants that
Yeah.
are then uh, sent to inhabit bodies on Earth, and then that in order to then and then they believe that there's three different heavens that people go to. Uh,
Three.
three.
Damn, nigga.
So you've got
One
the
isn't enough.
te-
Okay.
okay. So you've got the telestial heaven, which is the worst one where most people go to that aren't good people necessarily. Then
Right.
there's the terrestrial heaven, which is a place where uh, generally good people, but people who aren't Mormons go to. And then there's the celestial heaven, where they believe that they will they of course have special ceremonies and rituals that they have to do, and they have to wear a special type of underwear, and
What? God. Okay,
and
continue.
and once you do these rituals, uh and you also have to get married in a special ritual to someone, and they believe that then the people that they marry, they're going to continue to be married to them in their afterlife, and then they're going to eventually
Why?
become the new gods of their own
Why?
planets and
God
populate those worlds
damn it.
with the children that they have by having sex with their wives in the celestial heaven. Uh,
Here's the funny part about
yeah,
all of this. I swear to God, this sounds like an anime plot. Literally, I'm like, as soon as I started hearing this shit, I'm like, are you sure you're not making either this, or either you're making this up, or you're taking it from a manga or light
yeah,
novel, guaranteed.
uh,
God, is that real? What they believe, bro?
yeah,
Because if
and
that,
then
because if that's the case, then what are they smoking, and can I have some?
well,
Because God damn, look,
it's
I
yeah,
get it, okay? I get it. Marrying people in a specific way. But why? Why would you want the same chick forever, nigga? God, that's the
well, they
worst
used to
kind of
have multiple.
bullshit.
They used to have polygamy like a lot of places do, but
God damn, that's even worse.
so
Bruh,
so they had
you would
multiple
not be
wives.
able to go to sleep. Literally never sleep. You would have to smash one of them every night for a week, especially if you have seven of them.
Yeah,
Every week, nigga. God damn.
but the reason
People
they
be
had to
tripping.
stop doing that is because the U.S. government wouldn't let them have certain privileges because they were doing that, so they stopped doing it in order for their region, which is uh, to to become a state. And in the U.S., that's the state of the United States called Utah, because and the reason they live there is because they had originally started out in the eastern United States, but eventually they had been moving west, and they had formed their own military and militias, and had a little bit of a war with other locals out in the western
Okay?
United States, and and then because of that, they later on moved further west, and they wanted to carve out a massive amount of territory that they called Deseret to be their own country,
Where they
uh,
can smash anyone and
where
as
they
many
can
times as they
have
want.
multiple wives, they can smash, and they can do their rituals,
And probably incest as well, just
and
for good measure.
there was
And I would
even
not
a
be surprised.
there was even a bit of a war that
Of course they were.
what that
God damn it.
happened between the United States and
Look,
some of the
look,
Mormons. Yeah,
listen, fam. There's an easy answer to all of this. Give them their own country, all right? Let them have their fucking polygamy and incest, and just let inbreeding destroy their lineage. That's literally what I would do
well,
if I was the
actually,
king of a
speaking of
country.
that, there's
Just let
actually
them do their own thing. Let them destroy their own nations, and I will not even be mad at it. You know,
there's
just let them
actually
do their own thing.
a split off group called the Former Latter Day Saints, where
The former, my God, they're just
where
instead
they
of shortening the name, they just keep piling
where
onto
they
it.
had
Really,
split
my nigga?
off from the main group because they
Yep.
wanted to still have polygamy,
Yeah,
and
of course, of course. That's
so
the
they
one
had their
reason
own
why you
communities,
just dip on your own country because you want to smash more females.
and
God damn it!
and and
I can't be mad at that because that sounds realistic.
and and, and the problem people were having was
Yeah.
that with this group, they were very cult like. They wouldn't let people leave the community, and they also, some of the women that they married were underage,
God, I, I was expecting it, but didn't want it. But it
and
turned out to be true. Motherfucker.
and
Incest,
there was actually
polygamy,
some
and
incest going
lollyism.
on.
Or lollyconning.
There was
What's
some
next?
incest going on,
What's next, bro?
and ultimately, the, the U.S. government cracked down on that as well because they didn't like what was happening, and the guy that
Oh, I
was
would
leading the
bet.
group got arrested.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But
Is there
anyway,
anything more? Is there
so
anything more?
there is a lot more. So what
Oh,
the
great. Just continue, because at this point, might as well go all the way. Come on,
okay.
let's see how many more laws they're breaking.
Uh,
They broke lolicon. They broke
well,
pedophilia.
that's just the
They
former
broke,
Latter Day Saints that did that.
yeah, they broke the law that says polygamy and every other goddamn fucking STC law. What's left? What's left?
Okay,
Please tell me to break
okay. So
other
what they
laws.
believe is that the reason why people live on Earth and the reason there's bad things in the world, what they believe is that at the beginning, that so when everybody was still a spirit before they had bodies, so there's God and he had two important sons, and one of them is Jesus and the other one is Satan, and they had a debate over how to get people to be good or bad, and Satan, what they believe, wanted to force people to uh, to follow him and to worship God and do things like that. And Jesus wanted to make it everybody's their own choice. So then there was a huge split in heaven, where then the bad people with Satan uh, never got to have bodies, and they became evil spirits and demons and things like that. And then the good people went down to earth and had bodies, and then the people that were undecided, I think what they believe, I'm not entirely sure whether they still believe this, they probably changed their opinion because it's very edgy. They believe that it was the blacks, the people that were on the fence as to what to do that, and that's why they're black. So they
All
believe
right, so racism. What else?
it
Come on,
is
they're breaking more laws.
it
I'm
is
pretty sure they're gonna break another one.
uh,
God, they broke the racist one. What else? They
and
gotta have more.
well, they don't believe that anymore, but it was their prophets that had said these things. So
Of
it,
course.
so if they're really hardcore, they might still believe this. So then also there's similar talks about the American Indians, that they also were some racist statements about them.
Of
Uh,
course. Gotta go full racist. Can't
and
go
they believe
halfway.
that in ancient times, that that ancient Jews came over from Israel to the Americas before Columbus, and that they had this whole civilization and big massive wars and everything like Lord of the Rings, and but of course no archaeological evidence for this exists. So it's
Of course, they
yeah.
don't. God damn it. Okay. And?
And they also believe that Joseph Smith, the founder of their specific religious group, was met by an angel that they call Moroni, who gave him, or at least told him where to find these large, and I'm paraphrasing here, so I'm not entirely exact on what this is, these large tablets made of gold upon which were written some ancient things that were written by the ancient American Jews, and he had special glasses that allowed him and only him to read it, and he was only allowed to look at it himself by looking into a. I'm mixing these things up a bit, but he was looking into a hat, uh,
What?
and,
Okay.
and reading things that way while his friend was writing down what he said, and then he had purchased some Egyptian hieroglyphics that some traveling salesman had given him, and he
Just purchase
yeah,
all of it.
and he wrote a whole book based on this called the Book of Abraham, and people have actually gotten hold of actual hieroglyphics, and
Yeah?
what they actually say is absolutely not at all what he interpreted them as, which means he was a complete fraud when he was reading the hieroglyphics.
Or he was on meth. I'm pretty sure whatever that spirit was, it was probably
Yeah,
cocaine, and he just snorted a lot of it and just kind of
and,
balled out the entire time.
and I believe
Just
that
drop past it.
yeah.
Oh, God damn it,
Oh,
man.
and here's something that they do quite a lot. They have the the owners of a lot of the ancestry websites and a lot of the genetic databases and ancestry things, a lot of them are Mormons because it's very important to them. Because what they do is they take their dead ancestors, okay, and
Yeah.
they go to these special Mormon temples where the Mormons, okay, they believe that in order to get into the good heaven, you have to be uh, baptized
You
in their
know, for people,
yeah.
right? For people that believe there are three of them, and not that many of them are, and two out of the three are good. They really go hard on the third one. You know what I mean? Like you already know that even if you're not a Mormon, you're gonna go to the second one. So why try that hard to go to the third? You know what I'm saying? This is when you know they're on meth.
Okay,
All right.
so
Yeah, continue.
so what they so what they do is they uh, they have to get baptized in a special large, and it's this enormous basin of water that they uh, baptize themselves in, and they also have to the you also have to get married to someone because the religion considers fertility to be very important. So it's very important that you're married, otherwise you
Oh
don't
yes,
get to
and
be a
make sure
god.
that you're not only married, but married 5 times over. Just
Well,
cause.
if you're not married, the Mormons believe that if you're not married, you can't
Why? By
have
the age of
you
5?
can't have children in heaven unless you have a special temple marriage, which means that if you don't get married to anyone, and if you're single your whole life, and even after you die, what happens is that you don't get to become a god, but you become an angel of some sort. So
Good enough. Like, nigga, what the hell? Yeah, and
and, and so what they do is they go into the temples and they have a list of names of their ancestors,
yeah.
and for each ancestor they get baptized and have a bit of a religious marriage ceremony where they're doing it on behalf of their dead ancestors that they're marrying to each other. Um,
Wait, are they doing it? Wait, that was a weird way of phrasing it. Okay. All right. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
so
continue.
so what they do is they have, and they do this hundreds of these a day. They go in and
What?
for,
Wait, hundreds of times?
well, as in they
Yeah,
they
continue,
they
nigga. I'm
research
interested.
every possible ancestor that they have, and
Oh, for a second, I thought you said they either get married 100 times a day just to finalize it, or they smash 100 times a day
no,
to finalize it. That was
no,
weird.
but let's say you've got a list of 20 ancestors. So what you do is you go in, and for each ancestor you have, you're going to get baptized, and for each of them you're going to have a bit of a marriage by proxy ceremony where you're marrying your ancestors to each other even though they're dead.
Matchmaking gone awry, I guess.
But as far as you know, some of your ancestors might have been married by the Mormons. You know, it,
Are you talking about me personally?
no, it could be anyone because I'm
Look,
wondering.
for me, I'm not surprised if that's the case. I just gotta ask them questions.
I'm wondering
Yeah.
who have, and there's actually these controversies that have happened because they married famous dead people. Um,
Famous dead people. Not dead people, famous dead
famous
people.
dead people, because people get
They're
because
famous because they died.
because some people get really angry when they find out that the Mormons have married their ancestors, and it because it
Why?
feels weird, man. Why?
It,
Well,
it, it feels racist, man. Like, what? Why are you mad that I married one of your ancestors? That should be a good thing. They could get them other countries involved. You know what I'm saying? Get
well,
that cultural
the reason
appreciation. But
it feels angry is because
what?
it's
You're not pure blood?
well, no, it's not, it has nothing to do with blood. It's because they look at it, the people that don't like what the Mormons are doing, they look at it and it's like you're tarnishing the memory of your ancestor. Uh, it's sort of like, let's say someone goes onto the grave of a famous person
Yeah.
and does something weird with it. That's sort of what it
All
feels like to them. That
right.
someone took their ancestor's grave and their memory and that now the Mormons have come and they've done these weird ceremonies for their ancestors, and it feels weird, man, and they don't like
Okay.
it.
I would think so, yes. For me, I don't really care because for me, there's two types of ways to do stupid shit with ancestors.
Yeah,
There's disrespecting them, and then there's just getting wrong kind of information. Because here's the thing: whenever I talk about my homies with ancestors related context, right?
yeah,
I do what I like to call a pre-made planning. Basically, it means anything that I do involving the ancestors, like, quote them and what I'm doing, say that they will believe in the same thing. All of what I'm doing is half true and half speculation. Basically, I just like with the homeworks, I'm not entirely wrong because no one knows except them, but I could just be making the entire thing up. You know what I mean? So what we would do is that we would just kind of do it on behalf of them, but don't take it too seriously. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
But imagine this. Imagine how angry people would be if this happened. So let's say there's someone that's someone Saeed somewhere, who is descended from Muhammad. Okay,
Okay.
okay, and that person just so happens to become a Mormon, and then what he does is he goes back for his lineage, and he does the marriages for everyone, and including Muhammad. And now he says, since I married the since I did the marriage for Muhammad, and the baptism for Muhammad, now Muhammad is a Mormon.
Nah, that's just being a bit control freaky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
Uh,
that's what they do, and that's why people
then
don't
they
like it.
fucking up. That's what. Then
That
they straight up fucking
because
up.
imagine you said that to someone who's very conservative, that this happened. Imagine how angry that person would be.
Yeah, pretty pissed.
Yeah, and
But
and
to be
and now
honest,
you
for me
understand.
personally, I wouldn't be mad. I'll be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? And you know what would happen if someone disrespects me? If I'm their ancestor, I'd wait for their ass. They show up in heaven or hell, probably, right? And I'm gonna visit them and say, "Hey, I remember what you did that one time. So get ready for this wet work, my nigga." And then I'll just beat the shit out of them. That's
Okay,
literally what my friends and family members told me. They're like, "Listen, fam, I might be dying, but when I meet you, I'm gonna beat your ass."
yeah.
And
So
we all agreed to do that.
yeah,
Beat each other's asses at least once.
so we've
Because
got
from their perspective, right,
yeah.
they have the ability to oversee what we do and feel. So if we disrespect them in a way, they kind of have free reign to beat our ass. So yeah, that's what they do. It's
So
very funny.
so they've got the free heavens, and they
Free of them, nigga.
also
One
have
isn't enough.
the outer darkness where they say really really bad people like Hitler and others go. So, but they say you only go there if you're really really bad. So
What is really really bad? Murking people ain't
I
really really bad. You need extra badness, my nigga.
well, it's not very well defined. I think it's just generally anyone that they think
That
is
they
just a
deem
really bad
not.
person.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Shitty standards, always the best kind. All right. Well, that's one way to make a neighborhood seem real shady and a religious type seem very control freaky. Yep. Well, at the very least, I'll tell you this:
Yeah.
if they're gonna do one thing right, it's the inbreeding. Nigga, like if I gotta give them points for one thing, it's probably that.
Well, most Mormons don't inbreed, but yeah,
At this point, I'm not surprised if they do. You
yeah.
know,
But anyway,
because as far as I can
yeah,
tell, incest, lolicon, or pedophilia, to be more correct. And what is it called? The thing when you marry multiple chicks? I forgot what it's called.
polygamy.
Uh, Polygamy is like the step just before inbreeding. They're like one step away.
But
So I would not be surprised if
I
that's the
mean,
next step for these niggas.
why would you object to polygamy though?
I'm not objecting to it. I
Okay,
just find it
I mean,
sus.
do they have it in Morocco? I think they do.
I think it's more accurate to say personal preference. You know,
Yeah.
some do. It's one of those things, right, where it's a gray area. It's not illegal, but it's more like frowned upon, but not really. Here's the thing. It's one of those statements, right, where it's not frowned upon, but it's based on how you use it. Because if
Yeah.
I see a nigga who has 20 wives and the
Well, it's
only
not
reason he's
20. I
with them
think
is
the
for,
the
well,
most
you
you
get
can
the
have is
idea.
4, isn't it?
Well, some people have 7, you know what I'm saying? So I don't
Whoa.
know. So I was like, yeah, if that's the case, right? If that's the case, it depends on what you do with them. You know what I'm saying? If you're there just for the money or just for the pooty wop, then nah, you're gonna get frowned upon. But if you genuinely can't choose and just have 2 or 3, then not that bad. It doesn't feel bad, man. It feels kind of sus, but that's all there is to it.
Yeah. So
This is why I say
anyway,
it's personal preference because it's really up to the person.
yeah. So speaking about the Mormons again, eh, all young Mormon men, uh,
Yeah.
when they get out of school, they take some time to become missionaries. For I don't know how long they do it. I think it's maybe a year or something, and they go whichever place and they go door to door like the Jehovah's Witnesses. But the Mormons, they of course they dress in a very specific way when they do it. It's very recognizable. But if you're careful, you might even notice the special temple garments that they wear under their clothing. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So all the young Mormon men become missionaries, and they all go somewhere and try to preach the Mormonism somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good for them. You know. They seem that they have life all planned out. You
yeah,
know, they seem to be really nice. Decent people.
yeah. They
A
are
bit
nice people.
sus.
They're actually very nice people, Mormons.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not hating on them. I just find it
Yeah.
weird. You know,
Well, most of them are very nice.
especially the pedophilia. I'm like,
Well,
why though? You know what I'm saying?
nowadays that's not something that they do. Most of them don't.
Thank,
It's
Thankfully,
just a
but
small
that's just
split off
it.
group that does.
Yep, most of them. That's the problem. It's most. It's one of those things, right, where whenever I see someone who either does something like that or is gonna do that for religious reasons, I always kind of ask why. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I see it, there's no benefit to it. You know what I'm saying? You're just basically screwing your life over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I'm like, but why though? You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
here's the problem. Most of the people I ask these types of questions, not really Mormons, just other religious types with their stupid rules, right? Whenever I ask them why, the most common answer is just religious type. It's kind of the same thing where whenever I ask an artist what type of why their art sucks, they just say it's interpretive or it's abstract. It doesn't answer the question. That just tells me that you literally don't think for yourself. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's weird. It doesn't feel bad, man. It just feels kind of racist, to be honest.
Okay. So there's also all sorts of other interesting groups that
Oh
exist.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, equally as sus.
Oh, there's some that are very Scientologists, of course. Scientology, you ever heard of that?
Yes and no.
Yeah. There's a lot
Heard
of
of it, never really went deep in it. Pause.
there's a lot of famous people that are Scientologists. Uh,
What do they search? Cure for cancer? What?
they're famous people in Hollywood, and I think the reason why they are is because they get targeted because they have a lot of money, and the group makes a lot of money because of that. But anyway, they believe that there's these ancient aliens that
Oh my god, really? Okay, continue. You weren't lying when you said sus. Okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't know that much about exactly what they believe because a lot of it they try to keep very secret.
Oh
Um,
yes, gotta keep all the government secrets. Can't spill all of the beans.
all of the Illuminati secrets. So anyway, they have these ancient aliens that and there's all sorts of different things relating to aliens that their religion is based on. I don't actually know
Is
that
it,
much about it.
is it broken though? That's my question.
Is it broken?
Yeah, well, when they try to mix science fiction with goddamn alien technology, do they confuse the two, or are they not? You know what I'm saying? Because
Well,
whenever I talk to people who believe in aliens or some form of science-defined bullshit, they never actually explain what it does. You know what I mean? They just kind of say a bunch of shit that makes no sense without trying to kind of science it out. You know what I mean?
well, from what I've seen, it doesn't actually make that much sense.
Oh yes, classic.
Yeah, but
All right, and
then there's other groups. There's the uh, New Apostolic Reformation, also known as the NAR, and they're a group that are what some people would call extremists in relation to charismaticism, which is a movement where essentially they believe that they have all these different miracles that happen at all times, and so they believe that you have to be able uh, to talk in some heavenly language or you're not a real believer. So what they do is they, and this is very weird if you've ever seen it. You can find videos of on YouTube about this where people do something called speaking in tongues, uh, where
okay,
where
that's
what it's
funny.
supposed to be is that they're supposed to be speaking in various languages, but what it actually ends up being is they're just babbling nonsense, uh, where they're just babbling around, and
Just dabbing all the time. Okay.
and it's really weird because some of these people they get really wild. They roll around and they do this thing where they're slain in the spirit, where the preacher he walks up to them and he touches them and then they fall over like they're dead or something. And it's weird. It's so
I
weird.
think they're on meth when they do that. Here's the thing: whenever I see spiritual people, there are two very distinct factors, right?
Yeah.
That kind of differ when you see them. Like to see it, basically, it tells you who's the real spiritual master and who's just tripping, the entire time. And it's one of two aspects. The first one is reaction. By that I mean whether or not they're actually doing something or just doing it for the act. You know what I mean? Because sometimes whenever I meet these people who speak in tongues and do pretty much, I don't know what the fuck they call it, spiritual enlightenment or something like that, right? Where they try to lift the spirit from you. The thing where you just said they touch you and you just start freaking out, right?
Yeah.
Those people, 90% of them are faking the shits,
Yeah.
okay? Guaranteed.
I'm gonna send you something here. Uh,
And the reason why I say this is because of one simple fact. They overdo it.
and,
Because they're trying to kind of, make you believe, rather than just doing the thing they're supposed to, quote unquote, be licensed to do, or the religion tells them to do, they just kind of start spurging out random shit that they think sounds religious or spiritual and just say that's what they're doing. You know what I mean?
yeah. Here's
I've
one.
met
You may not understand
spiritual
this.
people.
I don't
And
either.
let me tell you, those people, they be getting it, okay? I've
Yeah.
met some people who actually know what they're fucking talking about
Yeah.
and kind of enlighten me in
I just
different
sent you a
ways.
link. This is
Oh,
really
oh, I know.
wild.
I know. You keep sending me all the damn links, my boy.
No,
You
no,
got all the
you got to
links.
see this. Let me just put it on stream as well because this is
Oh,
really weird.
yes.
This is some weird stuff. Uh,
This is some susness over here. I got you. What the hell? Oh, okay. All right.
okay,
Uh,
so
Here we
here we
are.
go. So this is Benny Hinn, raw anointing of the spirit.
Oh
Uh,
my God! It's this bastard.
so
Okay.
these are the charismatic people, and this is what they do.
Oh my
Uh,
God! This nigga. I really don't like him. I thought this guy
I
was
don't
actually
either.
on meth. The first time I saw him,
yeah,
I
But when the Lord
legit thought
talks
he
to me,
was on
I obey him. It's just
something.
that
Must have been
simple. There's
cocaine.
nothing more to it.
Because he was getting it, okay? He was literally yelling
Are
like
you
he
ready,
was on
guys?
that meth. I'm
Fire!
watching this. And guy
and look at
left.
that. He swings his. I think that's a. I don't know what he's got. It's a towel or
It's
shirt or something,
probably swinging.
and he almost falls
Okay, it's
over,
10 minutes. Let's see.
and he falls down.
Okay, so this guy's either a really shitty actor or a guy who's so entitled or so on that good shit that he actually can't tell whether or not he's faking it anymore. You know what I mean? The type of people who believe it's so hard, pause,
This is
that they
100%
stop
fake.
knowing what the difference is. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When do I skip to see the good shit? That's the question. Okay, skip to 2 minutes.
These people, what they do is they sort of slightly get they get into what he's doing. So they essentially hypnotize themselves into doing what he's doing, because if you're really skeptical about him and you're not into the mood, you're not gonna fall over. But we'll see.
This is 100% accurate. He's not even attempting meth. He's not even attempting to convince
Take
him.
the fresh breath of the spirit.
He's literally just making this up on the spot. How much does he pay these niggas to act for him?
I don't know,
Probably
but
millions.
I'm sure he
Probably
gets a
millions.
lot of money.
Oh yeah, guaranteed a lot of it.
I've heard his name before.
Shit.
He's pretty famous.
Oh yeah, 100%. You don't just get people like this, okay? These are the kind of niggas, right? That just like with Logan Paul and shit, you pay them to act stupid so they can entertain the public. They're like clowns, but a newer generation. Literally, the same kind of job requirements and job applications for both. You know what I'm saying? God damn, I used to love Logan Paul. Now I don't really care for what he does. You know, he used to be a good guy. Now he's just shit.
Do you like the Suicide Forest?
I do actually.
Yeah.
But only if he is the one attempting it, you know?
Yeah, after the big drama came out,
So that way no one
I
else
looked for
has
the
to
video
pay for it.
with the original body, and I found it. Someone had re-uploaded it.
Yeah, with the shittier quality, I know.
And, well, not with a bad quality, but with the actual quality and the body.
Oh,
And,
damn, okay.
yeah. I mean, I understand why YouTube took that down, but I if it would have been me, I would have recorded it too. Not gonna lie.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I would have live streamed it.
I wouldn't have live
but
streamed
here's
it
the
because
thing,
that's
here's
a
the
bit
thing.
edgy. I
Here's
don't
the
want to
thing.
get banned. That's how you get banned. You live stream that stuff. But-
Well, for life or just for 5 minutes, because I can just make a new account, nigga. Hey, you know what I'm saying? All right, so like I said, I would probably have live streamed it, but not in the way you think, okay?
Okay.
I would have probably gotten consent from not only the dead niggas, but also the people right outside the fucking forest. I'm like, listen, fam, if I die during this shit, you get my shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'll just kind of go there and be like, hey, I'll just stay there for like half an hour to 2 hours, just talking to the dead people. Like, hey, fam, listen, I like what you're doing. I would like to record it. Is that Gucci? You know what I'm saying? I'll just start talking,
Yeah.
pretending that they can answer. But I'll just wait and see what the fuck happens, and then record it. And if people start, asking why, I'm like, listen, I gave them 2 hours. The dead niggas didn't do shit, so they want it. You know what I'm saying? Can't be mad at it.
Yeah.
I gave them all the time on the planet, literally. So
Yeah. A dead
because
person.
because unlike that nigga, right, who he literally just kind of went in, didn't give no fucks, and just started recording people getting murked, I would at least ask permission first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A dead person can't refuse consent, so you can do anything you want.
True, but I don't want no rape allegations. At least no more rape allegations.
No
So-
necrophilia allegations when you.
Yeah, I would prefer to at least ask for consent first, and then just say, "Hey, he technically said yes, so no problem."
That
with it,"
actually
you know?
gets me thinking. Is it would it still be a would it still be a pedophile crime if the child is already dead?
Yes, because I'm pretty sure the whole point wasn't that the guy was dead or alive. The whole point is that you're still technically smashing a minor. That's kind
Yeah,
of the whole
but
point. That's
it's-
that's the main difference
It's not
between
really a person anymore.
midgets and
if he's
lollies. You know what I'm saying? Because midgets are the same size. The size.
No. That's not.
Same.
That's not how it works. Midgets can be adults too.
No. What I said was
Okay.
the main reason why it's still technically a pedophilia law when you smash the corpse is because it's still a minor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
but
said that's what
it's-
makes it different from
Can,
you know,
can you really be a
from
minor if you're dead though?
true, but technically, unless you waited a couple of extra years
I mean,
after the body
let me
died,
just be very clear.
then,
I have no intention of having sex with a dead body or with children. I none
uh,
of those.
are you sure? Are you
I'm
sure about
very
that?
sure. Don't even question it. I'm very sure. I do not have
Okay,
any intentions.
do not question
I'm
it.
just
Do not ask the
on a
questions. Just
legal
leave it.
perspective. Man, I should get my lawyer friend here. Ask him. Would it? No, I can't ask him that. That would be way too. That'd be way.
Wait,
That it's just
wait.
too weird. It's one of those questions that you
It's
want to
not too.
ask an
Here's
expert,
the thing with me. Here's
but
the thing with.
it's
I
so
have
weird.
friends. Okay, listen. I have friends that are about the law, right?
Yeah.
This is what I told I told you I had friends with the law, right? Some of my friends, I do the same thing where I ask them stupid shit like, "Hey, is it technically still considered murder if the person tried to kill themselves?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before I killed him, because half of the time I do this thing where if I'm gonna fight you, I will tell you that, hey, everything after this, after you threw the first punch, is self-defense, and if I kill you, you have full knowledge that that's what's gonna happen next. So do you still want the fight? You know what I'm saying? Do you still want the sweat work?
All I'm
And most of
saying
them,
is,
yeah,
I
most of them
don't.
would say yes.
You know.
So here's the thing: with me and my friends, right? We do this thing where when I tell them about when I'm about to break the law, right? I ask, "Does this still technically count as a crime?" And they always say no or yes. You know what I'm saying? Half and half, because sometimes there is a gray area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All I'm saying is, I don't think it's rape if they're already dead.
True, but the whole point is consent, so I don't know. Here's the thing. This
I
is
mean,
one of those situations where I can't really tell you, to be honest. I don't know, to be honest. Here's the thing. I
well,
would agree with you that technically it's not right because the person's already dead, but it's also technically yes because the person still can't say no.
yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
in the same sense, if there people use sexual toys, and some people do,
Yeah.
and those don't need consent. You don't need consent from the object. And what I'm saying is, if a person is dead,
Flawless
then
logic.
then if they're no more a person, then what's the difference? Well, of
Hmm.
course it's a body, and so the question is, do dead bodies have rights?
This is one funny conversation, bro.
No, no, seriously, do dead bodies have rights?
No, no, that's what's funny about it.
Yeah.
We're making deep conversations out of retarded topics, which is why it's so hilarious. Because only me and more homeboys do this type of shit. Okay. You want my opinion on it?
Yeah.
Right. The way I see it, right? It's kind of halfway. In the fact, remember, most of the shit I do is halfway. The pause. So because of that, I'm thinking that yes and no. Yes, the bodies had rights. No, they probably don't right now, but maybe. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the kind of crime we're committing or
So
what's
what you're saying
considered a
is
crime we're about to commit.
that maybe
Because if
there's
we're
a
just going to smash a corpse, then yeah, it's not really a crime. But if you're
but
going to steal a
it's
corpse,
against
then
public
mm,
decency is what you're saying maybe.
maybe. Maybe. You know what I'm
So
saying?
maybe there's an argument to be made that there's a decency that you have towards a corpse that's not really related to any rights that a corpse has, but just a general sense of decency and
True.
respect,
To an
which is
extent,
a
yeah.
bit more of a vague thing, but
Look, for me,
yeah.
right? I'll give you a straightforward answer. For me, right? If I'm gonna smash a corpse, doesn't matter if it's young or not. Don't quote me on this, okay? If I'm gonna smash the corpse, what I will do is put every effort I have to make sure it's either consensual or the closest thing to it. You know what I'm saying? So that way, even if I'm in the wrong, at the very least, I'm not the wrongest person right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
I,
there is a difference between asking consent, waiting a little bit, nothing happened, then smash, then just straight up smash. Because at that point, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like from a third pointer's point of view, from a different person watching this happen. I
I
mean,
yeah.
think about it. Let's say we're both trying to smash a corpse. You jump right in, and I wait a couple minutes. Who do you think is more at fault afterwards? You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like I'm at least giving it a minute. So I don't know because for me, I don't really consider it a crime, or more accurately, not such a crime that you need 20 years in prison. It's more like something like public nudity. Sure, you go to prison for it, but like for 5 minutes, you know what I mean? It's like for one day.
Yeah, but
Indecent exposure, that's what
yeah.
it's called. Yeah, indecent exposure. It's not really a crime. It's not. I'm not even sure if it's against the law, but yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
This got weird real
Yeah.
fast.
Well, this actually calls me back to a memory I have from way back
Memory. Okay.
when I was uh, in
Smash the ghost.
no, I did not smash in
I was
in
just thinking
school.
about that. It's
Okay,
funny.
I was dissecting a fish
Uh, okay.
for a biology class or something, and I had a surgical probe. Okay, and I and the command was you need to sort of find where the stomach is, and so I took the surgical probe and I put it up the fish's cloaca, which is because fish, they don't have a separate hole for the pee and the poo, so it all comes out one hole. So I put it up there,
Yeah.
and then the person next to me just accused me of being a necrophile, and I say that it's not the sex thing, because I was memeing it, and that's I guess
Of course you
why.
were. God damn it.
Yeah, I was memeing. I'm like, haha, I stuck it up the cloaca, haha, and people said, wow, what a necrophile. I'm not
To be
sexually
honest,
aroused.
it really depends on the intent. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
they're just doing it, then not really. Because just like with murder's intent, there is a difference between acting upon it and just blasting it. That's what I do with most people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
but
I'll give you a scenario. Okay,
yeah,
let's say I'm on the bus, right, and a homie right just started spewing some racist shit. Not a homeboy, just a homie on the bus.
yeah,
Okay, I will pretty much launch my murderous intent on him. You know, the gaze thing where you kind of threaten his ass. Now, there are two outcomes. Number one, I just tell him to back off and I'm going to murder you. Number two, I actually do it. So, technically, in both scenarios, it's a bad thing, but in each of them, one is not a crime, the other is a crime. You know what I mean? So, it depends on the intent. But people will still kind of see it either way. You know what I mean? Like, they'll still kind of judge you even if you didn't act upon it. Because to them, as long as you had the thought, then it's the same as doing it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Which is kind of stupid, to be honest. Because I've had that kind of talk with my friends where I'm like, listen, I wanted to murder him, but I didn't. Does that still count as me being like a psychopath? He's like, technically yes, because you've had the idea to begin with, but probably no, because you had enough self control and preservation instinct to not do it. So what's your point of view on that? The way I see it, it's really dependent on what you kind of do.
well, I see that evil uh, is something that originates in the soul, in the mind, where if you do a bad thing, the reason that what makes the thing you're doing bad is, of course, the knowledge and the intent, and those are things that are inside your mind. So, for example, let's say there's a scenario here, and we've got four scenarios. Let's say there's a button, okay, and this button, if you click it,
Yeah.
if you press the button, let's say all people of a certain race die if you press the button, and so an evil person, what an evil person does is he knows that all people of that race will die, and then he intentionally presses the button.
Yeah,
Uh,
knows the consequences, but still does it. I got you.
knows the consequences and intentionally does it. That's what's evil. And but there's three other scenarios. What if you don't know what's going to happen and you press a button? In
Then
that
it's
case,
accidental. That doesn't count.
it's still neglectful because you should make sure you know what you're doing, but
Yeah,
it's
but
not.
at the
But you're not
same time, it's not
responsible.
really a bad thing.
But you're not directly
Actually, when it
responsible for
comes to
killing them.
those types of
Yeah,
crimes, right? What I would normally do is assess the person's kind of mental level.
yeah.
If they're
But there's
distraught after committing it, then they were, sad about it without knowing it, then I won't give them
yeah.
like any charges
But
because
there's
they didn't mean it and they're actually you're repenting for it
Yeah,
despite not knowing it.
but there's
But if
two
you,
more
you know,
scenarios. Two more scenarios.
what?
Then you can know what the button does, but so you know what it does, but you accidentally fall over and press it. You trip on or something and you press it. In that case, still it's like the other one where it's an accident. And then finally, where you don't know what it does and you don't do it intentionally, but you press it. In which case, it's a complete accident. But anyway, the only one that I would say is particularly evil in any of these situations is the one that knows what the button does and presses it intentionally. So I would say that if you are intending and fully knowing that you want to bad things to happen to someone, that's evil. Even if you don't actually do anything, it's because in your mind you've already you're already evil in your mind. So even if it doesn't come out in your actions, you're already evil in your mind. So just like where uh if you see a woman and you you decide that you want to smash, uh, and you wouldn't care whether that woman would appreciate your wanting to smash, even if you don't end up actually doing it, you've still, in some ways, already done it in your mind.
Kind of already had the pre-made plan. Like you already kind of assessed it regardless of what the outcome is.
Yes. So,
I,
well,
I
I
get
would say
I get
that.
what you mean. It's one of those situations where basically you don't care what the other person says. You already have the plan ahead of time, so it doesn't matter what their side of it or their point of view is. Yours has already surpassed
So,
it.
so I
I got you.
say, well, human laws should really only apply to things people actually do. It is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is God who then judges the intentions that people had in their hearts, because you can
True.
you can be evil and not do evil, but you'll still be evil anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To an extent. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So,
All right. So
yeah.
now the main question: would you smash a corpse, my nigga? Like, would
I
you
would
do it
not.
without asking for consent? Would you just do it?
I
You know?
I would not do it unironically. I would not do it ironically. I would not do it for the pleasure. I would not do it for the memes. I would not do it at all. Even
Not
if
not even for the memes. Okay, this is
not
when
for
you
memes.
know
No.
Anavultus got serious. All
I
right.
mean,
If he's not doing it for the meme, then he genuinely doesn't give a shit at this point. Yep.
I might. Well, this wouldn't happen because I never carry a phone around with me. I might try to take a picture of a corpse just to say, "Oh, look, I saw a corpse." But I wouldn't, do the Logan Paul thing. But I wouldn't go up
You know
and
what I would actually
grope
do if I
and
saw a
feel up a
corpse?
corpse. That's just wrong.
You know what I would actually do if I saw a corpse,
Yeah,
especially in the middle of nowhere? Take a picture of that shit, right?
yeah.
Undress the corpse. Don't
Undress.
wait. Hold up. Let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. To see some ID. You know what I'm saying? No, not VD. Just some ID. You know, identification. You know, take his shirt off or the jacket off. See if they have some papers. You know, so they
Yeah.
gotta have that paper. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
See
I
if they
have a
have
little
or
bit of
don't have
info.
it, and then right afterwards, go to my house, go to that Google, reverse search image the shit out of this nigga's face or female, so I don't care who it is, right? And see whether or not I can find their ass
Well,
or family members.
I
You know
would
what I'm
I
saying?
would not touch
So
the
that
corpse.
way, right? That way,
Yeah.
if I find them, I will hook up with their family. By that I mean like hook them up. Like, hey fam, listen, I saw your cousin. I think he's your cousin. Listen, when was the last time you saw him? Did he die? Did he tell you anything? And I'm saying just to see whether or not, because half of the time, right, these niggas be doing that suicide bullshit where they don't tell anyone. They just kind of
Yeah.
murk themselves, and then no one knows what happened except the random nigga who kind of showed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What I would do is I would not touch the corpse at all because it might be a crime scene. Uh
True, but don't worry. I'm not touching the skin. I'm just checking the pockets.
yeah, I
You
wouldn't
know?
even do
And
that.
if it is a crime scene, then I will just show up to the cops, say, "Hey, fam, listen. If you find my fingerprints, just remember, they're only in one location, and I was just looking for pockets. You
I've
know,
got
I
a
would
little fun
describe what
fact
I'm
for you.
doing.
Speaking
Yeah,
about corpses and sexuality, um, did you know
yeah.
that many people, when they die,
What their dick stays hard the entire time?
it gets hard.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
yeah. So,
Was that it?
well,
Was that your big entertaining moment?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
That's
yeah. That was it. That was
all
it.
the facts you got? You gotta hit me harder with that, bro. Phrase it. You gotta get the real juicy facts. You know, I've
Well,
gotta
there once
surprise the
was
hope. You
a
gotta give me the
culture
good facts.
somewhere in sub-Saharan Africa. I don't know where
Yeah. What they smashed
where
the lizards?
if you were a woman and your husband died, you would have to
What,
sleep in the same bed with the corpse of your husband for a night.
for one night?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it for a week, nigga. Damn. All right. Don't ask why.
this
Just,
feels
just
weird.
you know,
It feels really weird now.
gotta give them that respect. You know.
It's
But it depends on why though. You know,
it's
why do you gotta do it?
necrophile
Is it out
confirmed.
of respect?
I don't know. It's like the culture. I have no idea.
Maybe. Look, you know what I would do if I was the female. Okay,
Yeah,
if I was the female
yeah,
and the male husband just got murked,
yeah.
I would take that corpse, put it back in the bed normally. You know,
Okay,
just normal things.
and
I
then
would
smash.
smash once, just to give him one last surprise before he officially gets declared murked.
So what you're
And that's
saying
it.
is that you would smash the corpse
One time, but that's
once.
only if it's the husband. One time, you know,
Okay,
just like how
not if
sometimes
you're
you know
not if
they gotta
it's
rub one off before they
not if
die. You know,
so not if you're the man and it's a woman, you would not
no,
smash.
not
Okay,
smash,
okay,
no, not
that's
smash.
interesting double
Mainly
standard.
because your boy don't want no diseases. You know,
But it's the same way the other way around, though.
no, rub one off. That's all I'm doing. Not necessarily too much of a smash. Just rub one off. That's all I'm doing. You know.
This is getting too weird.
Hey, you started this. I
I
can
was
feel it in
trying
the talk.
when I started this. I was saying no Moon Man. We're gonna keep this safe, family friendly, and now
No, you said we're not allowed to be racist, and we're not. You didn't say anything about being too sus. You
no,
already
no.
know you're
All I
a
said
sus
is we
master
were not allowed
himself.
to talk about Moon Man.
Yeah, that's that. I'm still following that rule.
Okay, yeah, yeah. No Moon Man, no Russian.
No rules have been broken officially. No
Yeah.
rules have been broken because when you have low standards, anything goes. Speaking of anything goes, about the polygamy thing,
Yeah.
how many
How many what?
would you have?
How many would I have? I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't even have one. What am I?
if you could, if you could,
If I
or you,
could,
like
I don't know.
infinite numbers, how many would you have?
I have no idea. I think one is probably enough. I mean,
True, one,
I've never.
no?
The only reason I would have more is I don't even know.
Homie does not even know.
I don't even know.
He doesn't even know.
I don't
He
know.
ain't even about that
Uh,
life. All right. For
I
me, I would either have one, just the one, if I'm confident enough of just the one, right? I
yeah.
would maybe have two if I need a little break.
If you need a break,
Three tops. Three tops. But that's only because of non-sexual reasons.
the
For
problem
the third.
is the more people you're married to, the more complicated the relationships become.
True, but here's the thing with it though.
Okay.
If the what was I saying? Oh yeah, the example I'm giving you, right, is that polygamy is normal there and everyone's down with it. You know, unlike
Yeah.
in here where it's like not the norm. In there, it's the having one wife is the weird part, and having 17 is the normal part. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the women would have that much of an issue because they would probably pre-plan that shit. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you can't just have polygamy for three females and then get complicated later. No, they all three got to agree ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? At least that's how it should be. You know, if you're gonna smash three females, have all three of them either be BFFs or all agree on like the terms and conditions. Each one of them has them for like 2 days, and then he gets Sunday off to get a break from three females at once,
All I'm
which is
saying
more
is that
less than he actually
it's
wants.
a lot of responsibility.
Well, obviously, nigga, but that's why you gotta have the facts beforehand.
Yeah.
If the man is down for the three females, then the three females are down with each other. You know what I'm saying? Not sexually implied, just means that they're down with whatever's going to happen.
Okay. Whatever you say, boss.
No chill. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Well, look at this guy, Benny Hinn. No chill there.
I never had chill. I never had Netflix and chill. I never had any chili. I never chilled with anyone, and I got no chill in terms of what I'm doing.
Well, like most Americans nowadays, I never smash. So there you go.
Which is the norm and the responsible thing to do.
That's what's happening in society in the West anyway, where people are just not having children anymore, and that's why that society is going to collapse.
You know what I would rather have?
Yeah.
Make less children, adopt more orphans. That's how it should be.
Okay.
At the very least, for the people that either have medical conditions that don't allow them to produce, right? Or for those people who shouldn't be parents, at the very least for them, because more often than not, these people would like to prove you wrong. So the way I would see it, I'm like, listen, rather than, having illegitimate children and not knowing what to do, how about you actually just raise one for 2 days, see how it is, and prove us wrong? You know what I mean? That's what I would do. Because remember, the main reason they tell you can't have a kid is because it's for a good reason, nigga. They know you're going to screw this
Sorry,
up.
I had to sneeze there.
Yeah, you sneeze, Sam. At the very least, it's not piss, This time, at least.
Yeah. Well,
by the way, how many likes?
I have no idea. Let me go to the dashboard.
3. Still 3.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people.
By the way, what the hell happened to the live stream? It looks like it died. Did you cut the camera off?
What?
Did the beat go off, nigga? What is this?
No, it's still on.
Oh, I guess it's just from my point of view. Hold up, let me just refresh this.
It's freeze framed right now because there's nothing going on the screen. Because I've got the Benny Hinn on there. If you want, I can.
No, oh my god! I think I screwed something. I pulled up.
He touches the guy and he just falls over. It's.
What do you? Yo, Anavultus, he good?
Yeah, I'm there. He touches him and he falls.
What? Wait, hold up. I think I'm either hearing two voices, or are you saying you're gonna smash a nigga? What?
No. The Benny Hinn.
He
touches the other guy, and the other guy falls over, because he's been raw anointed of the spirit. Although I do believe that it is fake.
Yeah, it's 100% fake. They definitely acting. Because it's like, here's the thing. If you want to prove me wrong and tell me that you're a spiritual man, prove it. Do something not necessarily impossible, but physically hard to fuck up. Or physically hard to not act like. You know what I'm saying? If all you're providing for evidence is that if you push me, I fall down, then bitch, that's not evidence. I fall down on my damn self. I don't need you to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is why I say it's fake and why it's bullshit. It's because they don't actually try to convince you. Because they know that more often than not, most people will just believe them because they're idiots. They don't try. You know what I'm saying? They're the kind of people that believe that because so many of their audiences have low standards, then they don't have to try. And they're not wrong for it. That's the problem. 90% of the audience will just come back regardless, which is why they don't try it. And here's the problem. They make a profit out of it. And it just continues being the norm. When your audience is shit, you have zero standards, then you don't kind of try.
Okay, just a moment. I just got another video here.
Ooh, nigga got more links.
Yeah.
God damn, how many motherfucking...
This is the speaking in tongues. I almost clicked on a Robert Breaker video, but that's not going to be today. that would be a whole series
today, nigga.
if I made a Okay,
Okay,
now there.
so I might have fucked up and accidentally downloaded 700 pictures. Again.
Again, this
Yep.
happens every week.
Yep. Look, all you gotta know is that the copy function works like all living shit. Look, I just tried to copy a couple pics and got 700. By the way,
In
what
the
do you think
name
of
of
speaking
Jesus,
in
you
tongues?
be
Are you
made
think
whole by
do
the
you
power of
actually
God.
believe that they're speaking an entirely new language,
I
or are they just making up the lyrics?
I think what they do is they just put whatever comes to mind, and unfortunately, it's all random. They think it's not random, but it is random. Uh,
Yeah, at the very least, make it believable. And here's the problem. This is when this is when you know a nigga faking it. Is that if I want to join, like I actually believe you and want to join you, and like, hey, listen, can you explain to me how do you do this tongue thing? And your answer is not even I know. Then this is when you know you fucked up your own religion.
well,
You know what I'm
what they
saying?
say is that it's the Holy Spirit making them do it, but
Yeah, this is when you know they faking it because I mean, if you're gonna
it's we know
speak
it's
in
fake
tongues,
because no one can understand what they're saying. Because if it
yeah,
were real,
not even
people would
them.
be able to understand what they're saying because it would be a real language. But it's not.
Yeah, and at the very least, make it so that when people do believe you, like the 1%, right, or the
Yeah.
77% of retards, when they do believe you, at the very least, make it a way for you to communicate with them. It's like you. I'll give you an example. It's like someone trying to kind of what is it called? What's the term? Yeah, try to get a girl's number, right?
Yeah.
And then having such low confidence that they will not get a yes, that when they do it, they have no way to continue the conversation. Like they never thought past that point. This is what I think with these niggas. None of them have ever thought that, hey, maybe someone will believe us. You see, this is when you know a nigga fucking up, because not even they believe people will believe them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
Because when I show up and like, hey, I like your shit. Can you teach me? It's like not even I know, which is when you know you fucked up. These people are doing too much. That's all I gotta say. They just be tripping nowadays. Well, by the way,
it's really weird.
I gotta ask a very important question,
Yeah.
and I need context
An
too.
interesting
Okay?
question.
Yes. What is your stance
Yeah.
on the pedophilia thing? You know, the smashing corpses, but they're minors at the same time.
Well, I don't think you should be smashing corpses.
Yeah, but like when we were talking about Mormons, and you said they were committing pedophilia
Well,
things with
not
minors.
not the mainstream Mormons. It's only a
Yeah,
split off
yeah,
group
I
that
know
does.
the 1% or whatever you call them. Yeah, those guys. What is your stance on that? Because I didn't think it was a thing until you told me, and then you told
It,
me.
well, it's wrong. What am I supposed to say?
No, like what's your stance on it? Should it be a punishable offense by death? Should you just execute them? Should you just tell them that it's wrong and hope that they stop? What?
Well, I think that the way the legal system treats pedophilia
Yeah.
is they're not approaching it in the way they should, because the way that it currently does it, at least where I live, is that the reason they say pedophilia is wrong is because people are not old enough to give consent. In the sense that they're they're literally, what they say is consent is something that you cannot give until you are a certain specific age. So
So wait.
but that doesn't make sense if you really think about it,
Yeah, I'm like,
because if you think
what the
about it,
fuck?
what it means is that if someone is, let's say, uh, that let's say someone has sex the day before they're 18, and then the day after, did that person somehow on the day before not have the ability to consent, and then
Yeah, I
later
know.
on the
It's a
day
bit dumb.
after have the ability to consent? And that's not true. That's not how it works. That's categorically wrong. What I say is that you need to simply say that, obviously, the most obvious one here is that you should not be having sex with individuals who are not sexually mature. Uh, and you may say, well, people don't all mature at the same rate. There's some people that go for puberty earlier than others, and some people later than others. So what you do then is you simply decide, we're going to just put a general rule and say 18, since or 16 or 17 or whichever it is. Way
Here's the
back when
funny
it used
part
to be
about that.
14.
Here's the thing
Yeah.
about that. I've looked this kind of stuff up. Don't ask why. And apparently, because I was watching anime, that's legit the reason.
Yeah.
Because anime be tripping with that bullshit. Apparently, in Japan, the age of consent is 13.
Well, in some areas, not most places, but some
Yeah, no,
areas.
well, not all of it. If that was
And
all of
there's
it, then goddamn,
conditions
everyone would be
that
showing up
need
there.
to be fulfilled for that.
Yeah, it was age of consent is 13, but only with other 13-year-olds, which I think is like at least halfway through like halfway of a decent system. Not entirely broken, but not exactly great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That still kind of implies cheating.
Yeah, for
Now,
example.
here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with this system. The 13-year-old rule
Yeah.
only applies to smashing.
Yeah.
So anal, BJ's, anything else that doesn't involve the V is completely legal. Which is why it was one of the weirdest shit I've ever looked up late at night.
Wait,
I
so you're
have-
telling me that you were looking at Japanese child porn?
Actually, no. If I was,
No.
if I
Okay,
was doing
good.
that, I would have been murdered way before I showed up. No, what I was doing, right, and you can quote me on this, is that because I was watching anime, right,
Okay.
and a lot of this anime bullshit will be doing too much with the underage consensual
Wait.
things.
Are
You know
you
what I'm saying?
watching hentai? Is that what you're telling me?
And no, I'm watching
No.
anime that's uncensored or manga that's uncensored, and
Okay.
it's weird as fuck.
So it's maybe some ecchi anime or something.
Look, let's just say I pirate
Okay.
all my anime because fuck paying Crunchyroll $7 a month. But because of that, what is it called? The illegal websites that surf the anime, right? They give you mostly the Blu-ray versions, you know, the ones that are uncensored.
Yeah.
So when I was watching the new anime season, to be more specific,
Yeah,
what I
no
was
Shadow
watching,
Jotaro. Yeah.
yeah, the thing that I was watching was Domestic Girlfriend, which is weird, you know.
Oh,
It's
domestic
girl, yeah,
Nakanojo or something. I haven't
yeah,
watched that one, but
yeah, the new one. I like to watch anime seasons, or
isn't that the one where he smashes someone, but then the person becomes his sister?
yeah, that's why Japan is weird as fuck.
Thanks, Japan.
That's why. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Uh,
So I was watching that. By that I mean I literally watched 5 minutes and then immediately dipped and never showed up again. Right.
yeah.
What I was looking forward to was basically what the fuck that meant, because half of them were underage, and I was like, wait, isn't this just illegal in 50 different ways rather than just the one? You know what I'm saying? Because when I watched the anime, apparently incest, if you're not blood related, is okay. It's just kind of framed upon, but slightly. Basically, it's not illegal, which is what confused me the most.
That's a big debate when it
Yeah,
concerns that.
that's
Yeah.
what confused me, because I assumed it was flat out illegal and then framed upon. But no, this is like a slap on the wrist type of
Because
illegal, where it's just the most minimum illegal thing you
because
can do.
that's a loophole. It's that they want incest, but if it's blood related, then it's really wrong. So what they do is they simply have someone who's not actually blood related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked this stuff up just to see what the hell was going on. Because remember, I usually follow the Americans' rule book of the law, right?
Yeah.
Because that's one thing to do on the weekends. So when I looked it up, it turns out that in the U.S., age of consent is 18 in certain areas, right? But in Japan,
most
it was
places.
13, which is what confused the shit out of me the most.
Yeah.
So I just kind of dived deep in there to look at how this is possible. Because remember, not necessarily sheltered, but I don't exactly have every country's point of view. So I assume that 18 was just a golden rule for the planet, not just one
Yeah.
side of it. You know what I mean?
Where I live in Florida, what you can do
Yeah.
is if you're 16, you can get married with your parents' consent, and then you can smash if you're married that way before you're 18, theoretically.
Okay, at the very least, this loophole requires a bunch of shit. That one was just blatantly smash 13-year-olds, so that's why I got weirded out. So when I looked it up, and again, I wasn't looking up hints. I was just looking up the golden rules of the shits. It turned out that yes, 13 is the age of consent, but besides that, anything else goes. You know.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, it was with only other 13-year-olds. This is what it kind of gave me a thank God because I was 2 seconds away from calling the FBI on the entirety of Japan because I was like, nigga, what you mean 13 is legal? That's bullshit.
So
So,
you're saying that you're okay with kids smashing each other,
no,
but
no, no,
not
no. Listen, I look.
okay.
Why was that your question? Look, this debate was me asking, "What's your opinion on this?"
Okay.
and "What do you think about Japan's weird ass laws?" I wasn't saying, "Hey, look, Japan has weird ass laws that can completely fuck us
You
over.
know,
Let's go to them."
13 years,
What?
that's the age that the in Judaism people go and have the bar mitzvah. Uh,
This is
so
weird, man.
technically speaking, 13 years in Judaism, you're considered an adult. So historically speaking, in Europe, 14 was very frequently an age where you would be considered an adult and you could get married and do stuff. So it's not that weird, but in today's culture, especially with people having longer lifespans and that sort of extending some people have puberty later, unless they've been hormone affected, in which case they might have it earlier, in areas with long lifespans. So I think there's no particular reason to lower the age if it's wherever it is. I don't think we should
Yeah,
be lowering it.
yeah. It feels weird, man.
Yeah.
So, speaking of 13-year-olds, it's one weird way to phrase this next topic. But basically, right, after I looked it up and found out that thankfully it's only with other 13-year-olds, so there is no illegal pornography, my question was, how does that work in terms of, well, let's just say, sh- well, not strippers, but like the way of work? You know what I mean? Because when I looked it
What you
up, it turns out
mean prostitution?
yeah, when I looked it up, it turns out the main reason why 13-year-olds are legal is because more often than not, the service they give to them, right, is through what is it called again? Oh yeah, through like slavery or not slavery, trafficking. You know,
Human
it's through
trafficking.
yeah, it's usually through trafficking and or prostitution. That's why the age of 13 is legal because more often than not, the ones they traffic are usually younger than the 18 recommended number. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what happened there?
I don't know.
like, yeah, I don't
Feels
know.
weird, man.
Yeah, it really is weird. That's why I ask questions and stop at the same time. You know what I mean? But hey, Japan does weird shit. I don't ask them anything because I don't want no type of information on my end. So yeah, let's just drop that topic. Thank God, and let's talk about something else for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, did you ever uh okay. Do you want me to talk about the story I'm writing?
Sure.
Okay. So it's a the premise of a story, okay? The I'm gonna tell people this. If people steal my ideas, then they'll know they'll have stolen it. So it's not that big of an issue. But the story, okay,
Yeah.
the setting. Okay, let me start out with the setting. The setting is in a somewhat medieval place. So there's swords and castles and crossbows and things like that, and bagpipes. And uh, this is, and I guess an interesting thing is most characters in this story are black. Okay,
Okay.
okay, and it has nothing to do with any particular race or ideology. It has more to do with simply the setting of the story. Because the reason I'm making this story is uh, number one, it's for the story itself, because I think it's an interesting story that came to me. But number two is that it's part of a larger world where it had these other ideas for stories, and they're all in the same world taking place. So the reason most characters in the story are black is because the place where the story takes place is in a continent that's more to the south of another continent. So that's why people are in a more tropical area, and so it makes sense that they would be darker skinned. So
Okay. Yeah,
so
continue.
yeah. In other words, I'm not a racist, everyone. So
Nigga,
yeah.
god damn it. Every time, bro. Every time.
Okay.
It always makes me sad, you know? Whenever someone has to say they're not racist in blatantly non-racist ways. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like me saying, hey, I like Mexicans, but I'm not racist, though. Like, nigga, no one thought it. Stop questioning it. God damn it. This is the thing that makes me kind of sad about YouTube content creators is the fact that they have to censor themselves so much that it's beginning to make it seem more and more stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. You don't want to be you don't want to be or sound racist, but you also don't gotta go all the way to restrict every word you say just because it might sound racist. Because here's the thing: nowadays, people get offended by everything more than I've ever seen before in my entire life. To the point where, yes, anything you say is racist, but at the same time,
Okay.
90% of the people that are calling you racist are the ones that
Okay.
are
Yeah.
actually racist and just looking for people to hate.
So the
So when you're with me, just say what you want,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
And if
okay.
someone hating, box my ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna beat that ass.
Yeah, the reason I say this is because there's of course
Yeah, I know
the
what you
whole
mean.
world has access to these videos, so I just want to make sure I'm very clear. So
Yeah,
anyway,
but here's the thing. At the
yeah.
same time, yeah, this is why I always say I keep it real. Just by meeting me and hearing me, not even seeing me, right? You can guaranteely, right, see that I am not a racist. You know, this is why I don't sugarcoat anything I say, and more often than not, go out of my way to make it sound racist,
Yeah.
just to prove to you that your boy ain't racist just by the way you see it, because ain't no racist gonna keep it real. You know,
So
racism go out of their way to not keep it real.
so the working title of the story is The Path of Vengeance.
Oh, now that sounds like a good title.
Okay. Well, it's a working title, might not be final. So
Gonna go Batman route.
okay, so the backstory. So there's two countries that were at war, and the king of the
Wait,
one,
they were war. They were warring.
yeah, they
They're
were
currently
warring.
at peace.
They had been at peace, but they were warring because
Okay.
this is happening on a continent. Uh, the continent is called Asion, and what happens is that uh, about I'd say let me make sure I get this right.
Gotta
A
get
little
the
bit over
dates right, man.
500 years before the story started,
Yeah.
I've got a whole timeline for this. There was a king, okay, who
Yeah.
was a king over the whole continent, and what happened is that he was betrayed by some of his subjects,
Colleagues.
and
Okay.
and they had set his
House on fire.
yes, literally, that's actually what happened.
Yeah, I called it.
Okay, and it burned
Murdered
to the
his wife and
ground,
kid.
and there was nothing left. And then all the conspirators were hunted down, and themselves, as punishment, they were themselves burned as punishment for what they did. But what this did is it
Wait,
fractured.
so hold
Yeah,
up. They burned his house down,
yeah,
right? They
with him
hunted
inside.
his friends, killed them, and then killed themselves.
No, no, no. The people that burned the house down were hunted down
Yeah.
themselves by people that wanted revenge for the killing of the king.
Okay, but the king didn't die though. He just got his house burned,
Well,
right?
he was in it when it burned down.
But did he die though?
That is the what they say. Yes.
Okay, good. All right,
So
continue.
yes. So they hunted them down in revenge for them killing the king, and as punishment they also burned them. And this, uh,
To this day.
well, not to this day, but they burned down. They burned the conspirators who burned the
All
king.
right, so fam,
Yeah.
I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Your boy
Okay.
gotta go take that piss because it's been 2 hours.
Okay.
Actually, three. We've been recording for 3 straight hours, so I
Yeah.
gotta just take a quick piss and come back, and we can
Okay.
continue for another hour just talking about the plot,
Okay.
not the anime kind. Okay, not the anime kind.
Okay.
Gotta make that difference.
So, in the meantime, I'll explain this to you all. Uh, so what happened is the king is in a palace. The conspirators get together. They burn it down with the king inside, and this causes the kingdom to fracture into many other kingdoms as now there's no clear leader. And so, but throughout this, the people that still believed in the king, they went out of their way and hunted down all of the conspirators who had burned down the king's palace, and as punishment for doing that, they burned them. And this has to do with a law that is related to the jurisprudence of a country, and that is uh, a general custom that the people have, that you do not betray the people that are hospitable to you. So if someone offers you hospitality, you do not betray the trust of people that offer you hospitality. So these people were let at to be close to the king's house, and the king had trusted them, but they betrayed the king and chose instead to kill him. And of course, that is problematic for a number of reasons. But anyway, so they had hunted them down, and now there's all these different kingdoms. And fast forward, uh, a little bit over 500 years, and now you've got two of these kingdoms are at war. Now, you may ask, why do we need to know this backstory of how the kingdom split up, and why they're at war, and the king and all that? And this has to do with what happens later. Okay, I think he's back, because this has to do with what happens at the end of the story. Uh, are you there? Let me just also open up my timeline. Not this one. Maybe I should get
Yo,
my other
fam,
timeline.
I'm back.
My
What's good?
actual timeline might be a good one to look at. So anyway, as I was saying, one of
Yeah,
the
they burned their asses
yeah
down. Then what?
one of the wise sayings that the king had
Yeah.
is that you do not betray those who offer you hospitality. So it is particularly bad that they went and burned down the king's house.
What does that mean exactly? Because I got confused halfway through that sentence.
It's a cultural thing, okay? So
Yeah.
in that culture, the king had established that you do not betray the hospitality of someone. So if someone
Okay.
lets you into their house, you
And
don't
then you
betray
burn it
that.
down. Yeah.
So
And if he lets you in the house and you burn it down, then they have free reign to kill you.
the yes.
Okay, that's a bit too real, but all right.
Yeah, so it's really bad what they did.
Yep. They just literally screwed themselves over.
Okay,
So yeah.
I I'm going to try to open up my timeline so that I can get a good look at it. But anyway, what happens is, over 500 years later, because the king died, there was no clear leader, so the land was split into several different kingdoms because the king didn't have an heir or anything.
Yeah, he was not about that smash.
No, he did not smash at all, actually. Uh, He
That's exactly what that means. It means he was not about that life, and he did not get no hoes, so he ain't get no heirs. Got it.
yeah. So now two of these kingdoms are at war, and what one king decides is that he is going to now give an order to kill every single person of the enemy's country that his army encounters when they march through the land. So they
So massacre everyone from the neighboring countries for lols?
uh, not for lulls. It actually is a more deeper philosophical meaning,
Yeah, I know. It's just
but
I say for lols because it just seemed like he just kind of made that up right after he just decided it. You know what I mean?
but
You know, I'm like,
he
hey, I have an idea. Let's just murk everyone. Okay, let's make that the next law. Come on, everyone, let's go kill them guys for fun. This really sounds funny. All right, yeah, continue, so.
so he had them all. Uh, Let me just open my timeline here. He had so he gave an order, and his armies went out and they burned down all the villages that they encountered, and they killed as many people as they could find. So
Okay.
then the war ends, uh, and victory is declared as they had burned down the capital of the enemy country.
Yep, just like I told you before, the victory, like of a war, isn't who was right. It's only who was left. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then the story picks up in a remote farming town on the other side of the country, where people have come together, and they all have lost people they know because of the war. Um, so there's one character who was in service of his king, and his king of course died, and 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 he had lived in the capital, and his wife was also killed in the war when the capital got destroyed. So he's obviously very angry, and he's a knight. And then there's a farmer who also lost his sons in the war. He's an old man now. He lost his sons in the war, and of course he's very angry as well. And then there's another soldier who had lost his hometown in the war as well. And they all get together and they decide that what they're going to do is they're going to kill the king that gave the order to destroy uh, their lands. So
Okay.
so
Yeah, yeah, continue.
so as they're doing this, they decide to sell, because they're now assembled at the farm that the old man has, uh, because that's the refuge that the two soldiers had taken, the knight and the soldier had taken after having barely escaped a battle with their lives. That's where they went to, and they already sold the farm and they're about to leave, and then a young 14-year-old man shows up.
Wait, what? A young 14-year-old man?
Uh,
What? It's
a
funny.
young anime protagonist age man shows up.
Okay, yes, the ones that are like very manly, very strong, and like 13. Yeah, I got you.
Well, no, they're not. They're not. He's not particularly strong, but he is the son of a mercenary who also died in the war, and his
Oh,
hometown got
yes.
burned down as well. Uh, and he shows up as well, and he wants to join in the revenge. So they then there comes an interesting part in the story where the three other characters tell their backstories in an attempt to persuade the boy not to join in the war. But the boy then tells his own backstory, and they finally agree to join up. And that's how the backstories in the story are told. That's a literary device I use to tell the backstories. So
Okay, good, good, good.
then they travel on their way, and they end up reaching the capital that is now burned down, but the walls, since they're stone, have been occupied by the other kingdom. And since the war is over, there's no reason for them to fight at this time because the other guys, they don't know that they're after the king yet. So they go in and they meet with a priest, and they ask his blessing so that they can go and do the revenge. But the priest refuses to give his blessing for it, and instead says that what they're doing is wrong, that they shouldn't be seeking revenge for this since the war is already over.
I kind of agree with that guy, but not really.
Yeah, yes,
I'm
that's
like,
the point.
technically, yes, you're not supposed to just go murk the country, especially if the war's long over. But if you find any remaining soldiers that took your homies out, then murk their asses. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, what was it called? Yeah. Basically, when someone murks your wife, you gotta get that D back. You know what I'm saying? So, when you hunt him down, make sure you actually hunt him down and not just his country, you know?
Yeah, but what's happened here is that the kid.
So,
Yeah,
listen,
yeah,
because it's been 3 hours,
okay,
we're gonna play one last little game, just like a 5 minute would you rather type of situation, and then we'll dip, okay?
okay.
All right, because we gotta have at least a little bit of gaming in this podcast, not just memes.
It's not a gaming podcast, just so you know.
Well, yeah, but you gotta have some gameplay, you know. You can't just talk about memes 24/7, you know. Even
Okay.
though it's called Just a Meme Podcast, you know.
Whatever you say, boss. I mean, I've got my timeline here, and it's let me see how long it is. It's about it's a over 4,000 years long timeline here.
Damn, nigga, you planning each year or you just kind of time skipping?
Uh, well, it's time periods uh that it's in.
All right.
So
Interesting.
on this timeline, the events of the story happen um about the 37th century on the timeline, or maybe the 38th century. Actually, now that I think about it, on the timeline.
All right, let's play Would You Rather. Like
Yeah.
5 questions, 5 points. Whoever gets the most wins, and we'll just dip after that.
Oh,
You know?
all right.
Gotta get a quick session in there before we leave.
Let me open up Would You Rather. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. You go first.
Okay, would you rather be a cat or be a dog?
Um, I would say a dog.
You would say a dog, you know, man's best friend.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna say cat because that's the only kind of puss I'm getting. So,
Oh.
yeah, I'll be with the cat. You can be with the dog. Pause. And you win. It's 63% for dog, 37% for cats.
Okay.
Because you already know no one wants the puss.
Okay. Let me just switch my screen over then to the questions. Okay. Would you rather get $100 today or get $1 a day for 200 days?
$1 a day for 200 days.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're really short on cash, there's really no point in going for the $1. I mean, sorry, $100 today. Yeah, so it's 62%, $1 for 200 days.
So I win?
Well, I agree that.
Oh, so we both agree? Okay, so no one wins? Alright, so
Yeah.
it's my turn. By the way, I have Skype sharing so you can see my screen to check the results, you know, just in case. Okay, so would you rather have hair cover your entire body or be completely bald, you know? Would you want to go complete furry or complete Mormon or whatever the hell the bald people are called? Monks, yeah, complete monk.
So have hair cover my entire body. So be a furry or
Yep,
be
or go
bald.
bald. Full bald.
Uh, I think it would be easier to
The
live
shit
bald.
out of this.
It would be a lot easier to
You
be
want to go
bald.
bald?
It would be easier
Yeah,
than having to deal with being covered fully in hair.
Yep, I'm going bald too. You know,
Yeah. And what's the
it's
uh
74% for bald people.
74%?
So yeah,
Would you rather have to skip
your
instead
turn.
of walk or run at all times, or sprint everywhere you'd normally walk,
What does
jog,
that
or
mean?
run to?
So is it telling us either skip or run instead of
Yeah,
walking?
skip or run. No, not skip.
I
Skip
say
or
skip.
sprint. So it's sprint is when you just go full out. You can't walk
Yeah,
normally.
I
You just
say
have to
skipping. I say
skipping.
skipping. I still say skipping.
Yeah,
You gotta
just
get the pooty walk.
I say that too. Just make sure you've got strong knees. Otherwise, it's gonna break you. Oh,
Yeah,
we both got it wrong.
what
Most people say
really?
sprint.
Well, you better just not sprint straight into a wall, my nigga. Okay.
I'm pretty good
So,
at
would you
skipping.
rather watch? Are you a
I can't hear that.
so I'm skipping this one. Instead, I'd rather have. Okay, let's see. Would you rather have the beginning of Circle of Life play when you fart, which I don't what that means exactly. I don't get it. What does that mean? Like when you fart, you play the song from The Lion King?
Your farts
Because I know what
sound
the
like
Circle
the
of Life
song.
song is. So every time I fart, it just says the Circle of Life from Lion King. That's weird.
The
Okay, or
circle
have
of
the chorus
life. Yeah.
of Thrilled play when you burp. I don't get what chorus of Thrilled. I've never had that or seen it.
What does it say?
You can see my screen, can't you?
Oh,
I have screen share on.
yeah, I can. Let me just
Here,
get the look on it. No,
gotta get
actually,
them,
I
gotta get them
oh
deets.
have a chorus of Thriller for like. Oh, Thriller, yeah, man, that's Michael Jackson.
Oh, that type of thriller. I thought it was a musical or something.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's a
thriller.
thriller,
Thriller. I picked thriller.
thriller
What about
like.
you?
Yeah, get it.
The getting's good. Okay, it's 59%, not 69, but good enough.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right.
Here's a would you rather. Your piss smells like McDonald's French fries, or your
Which
poop smells like Burger King Whopper.
I'm not answering either of these. They're not good questions.
I would go for the Whopper. Just the
Probably.
poop is a lot smellier than urine, in my opinion. So I would rather have my
I
poop
don't think
smell
urine
like
even
something
has a
interesting.
smell. Either that or I can't
It
smell it.
wow. uh, you ever
What?
been dehydrated? It
What?
smells really bad if you've been dehydrated.
No, not really.
Okay. So we're
Okay.
skipping this one.
Yeah, skip that one.
Okay. It'll take a moment to load. Um, would you rather eat a rancid mixture of rotten egg and old fish, or bathe naked in vomit?
Yeah, eat. 100% eat.
I think with the eating, you'd actually be more likely to get sick. Not gonna lie, but
True,
I'm gonna say
true,
bathe.
true.
I'm gonna say bathe.
But I would rather be sick than dirty. You know,
I said
gotta
bathe.
keep that whiteness in there. You know,
Yeah.
keep
Well,
that
it
tea
looks
gang
like I win
style
this one because
thick.
only 44% would eat the rancid mixture, while
You're just
56%
drilling
would actually
them
bathe.
cheeks, bro. All right. Okay, so
But it's
you have
actually
won
pretty
another
nice
match.
because you would exfoliate really well from the acid.
Uh, I'm not gonna quote any of that. Okay, so hold up. Let me just do something real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can see my screen, you'll know what I'm gonna do. All right.
Tap tap.
Okay,
Where
so
you at?
would you rather have a massive head compared to your body, so just big head mode, or always have a bowel cut?
Bowl
I don't
cut.
bowl cut.
It's a
Okay,
hairstyle. I would
yeah, I
always
know.
have a bowl cut. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't
sure.
really. I don't really want to
62.
live with a
Yeah, it's
weird shaped
62 for
head.
bowl cuts. Yeah, not really mad at
It's
it.
easier to
Okay,
have an unpopular hairstyle than to have a really weird shaped head.
yeah, that is true. Okay, so go ahead.
You wouldn't get this one, so I'm gonna skip this one.
What was it? What was it though?
It's a pop culture reference.
Yeah, but still tell you, boy.
It's Jersey Shore and something Housewives.
Oh my God, no.
Okay,
Okay.
we already did this one, so I'm gonna skip this one. I'm skipping this one. Okay, would you rather have a spouse with trees as arms or a spouse with alligators as arms?
What was the first one?
Trees. So you get married to someone, and that person has arms that are trees or arms that are alligators.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll die either way, so I ain't about that life. I'm not answering either. Fuck that noise.
All right. We'll skip that one then.
Just
Uh,
skip all of it.
okay, as it's loading. Tap tap. Where are you at? Tap tap. Where are you at? All right. We already did this one way back. I remember. So you don't have to. Hello, I'm the nostalgia YouTuber. I
I was
remember
I
it,
was I was
so
about to
you
say
don't
memer,
have
but
to.
okay.
Nostalgia meme.
Nostalgic memer.
There you go. I am the nostalgia memer. I remember it, so you don't have to. Did you hear about
Or
that
I meme
Harambe?
it, so you don't
You know,
have to,
Elon
you know?
Musk put out a little song about Harambe, but honestly, I gotta say it's not my style.
Alright,
Uh,
so what's the question, fam?
would you
Goes
rather never be able to compliment or never be able to complain?
never actually neither, to be honest. I need to complain because I keep it 100, so I expect you to keep it 100 too, you know what I mean? Like I complain a lot. So
Okay.
other people complain about me a lot, you know what I mean? It's normal. So I can't
All
just
right.
not
All
complain.
right.
That's gonna
Next one
stress
then.
me out.
Would you
Also, I
rather?
can't just not compliment a nigga,
Would you
especially if he's
rather
Gucci and got the thickness.
be a
Them cheeks,
mall?
man, you gotta have the
You
cheeks,
ready for
okay?
this? Would you
Yeah.
rather be a mall cop or a prison guard?
What's the difference?
Well, a mall cop is your
Yeah.
security guard in a mall,
In the mall, yeah, I know.
yeah, and a prison guard, you're a guard in a prison.
Mall cop, 100%.
Me
I will
too.
eat half the groceries.
Uh,
Because if I go into prison, I will be the one that gets raped first. I don't want that.
really? Why would you get raped first?
Because you can't drop the soap. Uh,
But you're not taking a shower with them. It's not a problem because you're not even touching the soap. You're just a guard.
true, but trust me, you're first on the damn list. Especially if you're scrawny and not down with the sus, they would go for them cheeks first.
Yeah. So
Okay,
you'd be
especially when you're
Paul Blart
by far either the youngest or
Mall
cutest
cop.
looking there. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
got no scars, baby face, and white skin. You're first. You're definitely first
Who?
on the list. All right. What?
Okay, never mind. No.
What? You keep saying stuff but not
Okay.
elaborating on it. Okay, so be extremely unattractive or be extremely attractive but have a hand that smells perpetually like poop. Wait, then what the hell's the what? I don't get it. I'm skipping this shit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Whatever you
weird. It's
say,
like,
boss.
hey, listen, don't be attractive or be really hot but have a hand that smells like poop. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with the other one? Okay, drink a gallon of mustard in one sitting, which you gotta have the deep throat technique for that, or use mustard as toothpaste for 3 weeks.
Use mustard as toothpaste for 3 weeks. Come on, man.
Yeah, guaranteed. Nope, I ain't with that life. 54% with us, so
That's a lot
no,
less than a gallon, by the way. Well, it depends on how much toothpaste you usually use. I
that
can't
doesn't
imagine
drop.
using a whole gallon in.
You can combine it a little
But
bit with the
it also
toothpaste.
depends on what kind of mustard it is, because I really don't like yellow mustard, but I do like Dijon mustard and brown
Yeah,
mustards and
yeah,
things
I
like
don't
that.
like yellow mustard, but I will go down on some other types.
Yeah, some honey mustard.
Ooh, that's actually kind of nice.
Yeah, to put it on your chicken tendies.
Nah, don't disrespect the chicken. Don't disrespect the chicken. It's delicious
It's
and not sexually
that you
implied.
buy with your good boy points.
Look, Actually, I have the story for the good boy points. Do you want to hear it?
Okay.
Uh, so last week, right? Not last week. Whenever I say last week, it means like in the last week, right?
Yeah.
Me and one of my friends, right? We were having a competition, right? We were basically using up our good boy points in a competitive way. So my friend told me, "Hey, listen, how about me and you see who can ask the most girls out?" He was a fuck boy, by the way. So what type of context you
Yeah.
guys might
Drew
need.
Darnell. Yeah.
More, you know the guy from Spider-Man, the one who lost his memories. Uh,
I don't know, but
the
go ahead.
Amazing Spider-Man, the one who was the what was it called? That guy's son. I forgot the name.
Oh, what? Harry Osborn?
Yeah, Harry Osborn. Uh, not Harry Osborn, but from the Amazing Spider-Man. You know the one.
Oh,
Not the third one. The third one was shit. The
oh,
second one.
the second one.
After he discovered he was Spider-Man,
Yeah.
his friend, his best friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah. Don't tell Harry.
they
Yeah,
said
Harry
that
Osborn.
he was hitting on the females, right?
Yeah.
Like he did in real life.
Uh huh.
That guy, my friend, was that guy, that type of fuckboy. So basically, we had a competition, and who would smash the most females? Now, here's the thing: he knew that I was not down with the sauce. I ain't about to smash no females. So he told me get their numbers. That's what our competition was.
Okay.
Whoever wins gets a total of 75 good boy points. Okay.
Okay.
Now, for those who do not know, 75 good boy points will allow you one favor, just one.
Okay.
But it's on level 2 types of favors. Okay, basically take the RPG route of having S rank, A rank, B rank, and C rank, right?
Yeah.
The favor was A rank. Basically, that means the kind of favor you would ask a friend, but not anything. You know what I mean? Just about anything, but he can still decline.
Okay.
Like if the favor was, hey, hang out with my cousin, or hey, go out with my friend. No, he can still say no, but technically anything lower than that counts. That type of favor. And I was actually working for them favors. So, guess what happened? Your boy got 5 girls' numbers. My friend got 3. Now, for the competition, for those who want the deets, okay? The competition lasted half an hour. We were in a city square, in the middle of a city. We have
Yeah.
what we like to call the Christmas tree. It's for, I think I sent you a link last time. You know the wedding that I sent you?
Yeah.
That video, and told you there's a giant Christmas tree, right?
Yeah.
We were in that location. Okay, so we had to get the highest amount of girls' numbers in half an hour. I got 5, homie got 3. Okay, now here's the thing. This is where being a fuckboy is a disadvantage. Because, sure, when you're trying to smash some females, being a fuckboy and being attractive works. But if you're trying to get their numbers, you gotta go slow, you know what I'm saying? He can't just be like, hey, girl, give me your number. That's what he tried to do, which is why he failed. As for me, what I did was simple. I approached him, said, hi, my friends think you're cute. I likes you, and I wants you. Would you be down for some coffee? That's literally what I just said, phrase for phrase. So, of course, I did the gentleman thing of asking her to dinner, classic situation. Let's be real, I played too many dating sims to know what to do. So, I completely had my conversation skills maxed out.
Yeah.
One of those things where you're proud of it, but definitely embarrassing to say compared to real life. So, that was my strategy. I got 5 girls to numbers. I won the game and got 75 good points. Guess what I used the points for?
What?
Try and guess, bro. What do you think I'm gonna ask a friend for a type of favor?
Chicken tendies?
No, that was actually a close second. What I actually told him to do was go to the city square, right?
Yeah.
Uh, Tell those girls that you just asked for your numbers, and tell them, hey, I have to tell you something, and then just tell them you're gay. That was the favor I asked because it was gonna be so embarrassing and hilarious. Now for context, my friend is not actually gay, but he is down with the sauce, so it's kind of half gay. So it was by far one of the funniest things I've done that week. But that is what you use the good boy points for. So yeah, that's my story.
Okay.
It was very funny. It was very hilarious.
But I do have a question for you.
Yeah, what up, fam?
Would you rather find $1 or read a book?
Uh, what type of question? That's weird because it depends on your personality. There's like no downsides and no upsides. What does that mean exactly?
Find $1 or read a book. It's that simple.
Yeah, but like, where's the inner meaning, the deeper contrast between what is good and what is not? What the fuck does this mean?
There
Does
is a
get a
deeper
dollar?
meaning, but you have to
Yeah,
answer it to find it.
okay, read a book, I guess.
Read a book? Okay. I say that I would rather find $1. So let's see. This is the let's see what we get. I get 58% on find $1.
Okay,
Uh,
but what's the question though?
but the idea is that reading a book is something that could be very productive, where a lot of people don't read. So uh, the question is, if you had the choice of picking between getting $1, which is something of economic utility, or reading a book, which might be something of intellectual utility, which one you would pick? So it's actually
Uh,
very deep philosophically.
and very racistly. Okay, yeah, sure. Read a
Okay.
book, I guess. I'm still
Okay.
going for read a book, bro.
Yeah. So do you want to stop here? Uh,
Let's go. Two more questions.
Two more.
Okay,
Okay.
one from me, one from you. Okay,
Okay.
so okay, I'm gonna look for a really good one.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the good one. Be known for something good. Basically means being a really wise person, right?
Yeah.
This one just says example. Or be known for something great, curing cancer. You
Oh
know?
no, it's be unknown for something great.
Oh,
Uh,
unknown for something great. I can't read today.
um.
Uh, yeah. What you think?
Well, what's interesting here is that it doesn't imply whether you've actually done these things. So, but you could say that, let's say theoretically, there's a person that did good things and great things, and that the person is either known or unknown. And if they're known, they're only known for the good things that this person has done. But if that person is unknown, that person is unknown despite having done great things. So
Mm.
I think
So, what you want to do, fam?
let us assume that therefore the great things and the good things are linked with being that person rather than simply being linked with the knowledge itself. So I would say being unknown for something great.
Hmm. Same. To be honest, I would go with same.
Yeah.
Because I would rather just do something very much, like, very beneficial, rather than nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because think about it. Even if I was known for doing something good, the most that good thing is just like something as simple as petting a dog or maybe being a wise person. That's like something that only five people would care about. But being unknown for curing something like cancer was very revolutionary. So I'm like, yeah, I'd rather just do that.
Yeah. Well, people. I am somewhat well known for many good things in my area, but
69.
but nothing great.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's 69% with us. So yep, that's good. All right. One last question.
Yeah. Let me just find one here. Oh. Okay. This is interesting. Would you rather live in ancient Greece or live in ancient Egypt?
Ancient Greece.
Why?
No real reason. I just like that place better than Egypt.
Okay. So, give me a bit of a time frame. What ancient time period would you want to live in?
I don't know. Well, Wait, like any of them rather than the specifics? I'd actually like to be in the one with Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, no, not no, specifically in ancient Greece.
Oh yeah, okay, it's specifically ancient Greece. Okay,
What
what
point
happened during
in the
that
history of
time
ancient
period?
Greece?
What happened during that point of that period? Because
A
you're
lot of
usually the
things.
history man, which is
So
why I need context. Which ones?
if you really want to go way back, you can go back to the Mycenaean civilization and the Minoan civilization, where it ends at around the time when the historical Trojan War is supposed to have happened, which happens, I think, shortly before the Bronze Age collapse. Um, so
Hmm.
there's an actual Trojan War that happened, although it's completely different from the one that's in the books. Uh,
Okay, I got you, fam. I got you.
but then there's also later on a dark age that happens after that, where not much is known of what happened in between that. And then there's the classical uh, period, which happens later on, where you've got the hoplites and you've got the Spartans in the peak of their power, and then Athens starts becoming big, and eventually the Persians try to invade, and you've got Leonidas and the Battle of Thermopylae, and
Um,
then
hmm.
Pericles becomes important in Athens, and at that time the Peloponnesian War starts, and eventually Athens becomes weaker, but Thebes becomes more powerful, and then eventually the area is dominated by the Macedonians who come from the north with Philip and Alexander, and then the region it continues to be dominated by Macedonians, although in the south in the Peloponnesus there is the League of Corinth, uh, and eventually the Romans take over the region.
Why only said too much shit? God damn, a lot of things
But
happened.
essentially, you've got maybe 2,000 years of history, and I'm asking you which point in that history would you want to be in?
Probably in the middle.
Middle.
Probably
Okay.
in the middle. Just for lulz, you know?
Yeah.
I'll probably
So
be in that one location where a certain event happened and just watch it in third person. You
gonna
know?
say the
Revolution's probably one of them.
geometric, no, the archaic age of Greece. I would say Greece as well, simply because there's a lot of interesting thinkers that lived in ancient Greece that would be perhaps pretty good to talk to. Uh,
Maybe.
I would say maybe at the time of maybe first century AD, when the region of Achaia had special privileges in the Roman Empire. That would be pretty good to live in at that time. Uh, but yeah, ancient Greece. Yeah, most people agree. There you go. So I think it's time we wrap things up. So do your outro.
Oh, yeah. Um, I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. Be sure to hit Anavultus up. And be sure to hit me up if you want to be down with the sauce. I appreciate you guys' support, lack thereof sometimes, because we didn't hit them 5 likes, man. I know we weren't gonna piss in the cup, but it would have been fun, okay? But at the same time, we still Gucci, we still Miller rocking, at least me. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoys, and yeah, we'll just see you guys later.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I will be seeing you all next time. Anavultus over and out.